Time magazine called my first guest an equal opportunity offender. The FCC called him on the carpet for his blue-tinged broadcast, and these are the cue cards. You all can see it. They can't see it. Sorry. His blue-tinged broadcast on WXRK FM radio in New York caused a whole revolution in censorship. Let's welcome the meanest, nastiest, dirtiest DJ in the whole wide world, my man, Mr. Howard Stern.
Baba Booey, Baba Booey. Hey now, what's happening?
Baba Booey, Baba Booey.
Tony just told me I look tan. What'd you say? Really? I haven't been outdoors. I think I'm just tanning naturally. Ooga. I just think you and Tony are very attracted to me. Tony said I look... Tony and Gary.
Oh, Gary thinks you're tan, too.
Yeah.
Baba Booey. Baba Booey.
I think I'm just flushed with excitement. I'm near Fred. Ooga.
Not uncommon.
Why don't you get one of those tan-in-a-bottle tans?
Yeah, that's what I need. I'm not into tanning. You know, they say skin cancer. I've seen people, like my dad got a growth removed from his face. You know what? I don't need to be in the sun.
But you can get it in a bottle. That was not supposed to hurt you.
I don't want to be in a bottle. You know what? That's all chemicals. That's probably give you cancer.
How could that not hurt you?
Yeah. They just haven't figured out how that's hurting you. Yeah.
Because I saw this woman advertising it on TV yesterday. She looked absolutely orange.
Thank you. That's what I think. Like those bodybuilders.
Yeah.
Hey, now, big show for you today. David Lee Roth stopping by. He's got some new album that he put out on his own label.
And how do you get it? Is it in the stores?
I don't know. I don't know what he's doing.
Well, we'll find out when he gets here. Because I always wonder about those self-published things. Where do they go?
Yeah, and I wonder if he's tanning. You know who's tan? Tom.
Thomas? That's right. You know, and I think he gets it on the golf course.
Yeah.
Yes.
I said, aren't you worried? Like, isn't he worried?
I think he's got a golfer's tan, and I don't know if he uses any block or anything when he's out there.
Macho.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't even like being in the sun walking to the car. What do you think of that?
What are you wearing? Using a parasol? Wearing an umbrella?
If you saw me, I have a parasol and big bloomers.
Well, they say that the best thing to do is keep yourself completely covered, and you can even get tanned through clothing.
Yeah. Yeah, I have special tanning clothes.
And the best thing to do is to wear dark clothing.
Well, you know that idiot, Paul, what's his name? Something Harris, the actor? Richard Harris? You had him on the show? The old guy.
Yeah.
And he was married to some, younger woman who used to, I guess her thing was she was selling tanning bathing suits.
Right.
It was a special material. I used to watch him on TV. And, in other words, you could walk around in a bathing suit, but you would tan all over.
You wouldn't get lines.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Great. How come she's not responsible for cancer like cigarette companies are? Anyway, Paul Rodriguez stopped by. He's always fun. Ivan Reitman, his new film is opening this weekend.
Today? Yes.
Yeah, that's right, today, called 6 Days, 7 Nights. And he's going to stop by. He, of course, produced my film.
I met Harrison Ford last night. I think I fell in love.
Oh, really?
Oh, no.
He's a bit of an old geezer, though. What are you doing?
Oh, God, but he's got something.
Really? Yeah, a bunch of money. Wrinkles.
Wrinkles. No, he's got something.
He's got charisma.
What it is.
Women like it.
I was like, this never happened to me when I was necessarily watching him in the movies.
Right.
But I just lost it.
Really?
Big breasts.
Yeah.
Did you meet Anne H?
She sat right next to Ralph, who was on the other side of me.
Yeah, well, she must have been attracted to him. He's kind of feminine.
I said, did she whisper anything to you? Like, get away from me, you're why I hate men?
Right. Ralph must really like that movie because he not only
he's
seen it twice now.
That's right.
Hey, now.
Fantastic.
Made me feel very romantic.
I wanted to be swept away in Harrison Ford's arms.
All right, so, you saw Ivan last night?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he must be excited.
He's very excited. He's got a nice new movie coming out. Big premiere last night.
Here you go. All right. Me, I'm going to not do anything this weekend.
Well, you know what's funny? Because everybody after the movie saying, well, what did you think? Was there chemistry between Anne Heche and Harrison Ford?
You go, no, there was chemistry between me and Harrison Ford.
I said anybody could fall in love with Harrison Ford.
Really? I don't see that with that guy. I'm no homo.
I can't tell you what it is.
Really?
It just overtook me.
Let me ask you something. Do I have any of that? Oh, don't answer that. All right, so you're smitten. You are smitten.
Yes.
All right. You are bitten. You ain't smitten.
Bitten by the
All right.
Explain.
All right, you guys. It's a big week. Next week, David Duchovny of the X-Files. Big mystery guest coming in. Gary says A-list celebrity.
Ooh, and a mystery guest.
That's right. We're going to have that handicap star search thing. The Crepidation contest is going to happen next week.
Crepidation.
That's right. That's farting, for those of you who are not that couth. And a man will decide what nationality people are by smelling their armpits. And David Lee today. Okay, so we got a huge show, and there's a whole bunch of stuff going on in the news, and your phone calls, and I got crap to give away. I don't know. You know, it's a radio show.
Howard Stern presents a Mayberry moment.
Andy, I'm worried. Where is Opie?
Where is that boy? I bet he's in a secret room with that queer Floyd. He's a big queer. Big queer. We got to nip him in the bud. Nip it, nip it, nip it right in the bud.
The Cutting Edge. Howard Stern.
Stuttering John versus Larry King.
You say that you knew Sandy Koufax. How about Amelia Earhart?
Amelia Earhart, casually.
The Easter Bunny?
Frequently.
You know what time it is?
No.
Isn't it time for you to propose?
Don't lie about your name.
How do you mean?
He's wrote a book.
Wow, I'm just asking a question. Will you see Fault Man, Larry?
What an entertainer you are, Larry. I want to marry you myself. You're listening to a man with only one wife, but a great sense of humor. Eric Norris's boss, Howard Stern.
Hey now. Oh, yeah. I was thinking when the Godfather of Soul comes in here, we should rehearse a song that we could do with him, the losers. I mean, me, Fred, Jackie, and Baba Booey brought in his trumpet.
Well, what song would that be?
Papa's Got a Brand New Bag.
You know how much of a perfectionist James is. He'll hurt you if you hit a wrong note.
Ow. Hurt me. Wow.
I'm going to put the good foot in you.
Yeah, right in you. Not on you. What,
I just heard I don't know if he's coming in here again.
James Bond. What is his trouble?
I just heard some woman is suing him for, keeping her locked up in his house for 3 days.
That was all misunderstanding. All the people died, you know.
He says it never happened. He does admit that a gun went off at the time she was there.
Yeah, but we got the gun in the house, but I had nothing to do with that.
So I don't know what's going on with that.
Oh, he'll be here.
All right.
He'll be here.
Say so.
He'll be here. Trust me. I'll get him here. I'll bail him out if I have to.
You should bet.
And guess where Scott Weiland is?
Rehab.
Yes.
Gee. It ain't hard to find him. No kidding.
He's trying another one.
Where is he this time? Is he with Christian Slater?
No, he's at this place called Port Hueneme in California.
Christian Slater's still in rehab?
Christian Slater, as far as I know, is in rehab.
Really?
I think he has to do 2-3 years of rehab.
That ain't fair.
It's like jail for him. He got sentenced to rehab.
Wonder how he feels as all the celebrities come and go.
He's Mr. Hall Monitor now.
Right.
He's graduated and
he's the mayor of rehab.
Made stripes or something.
What, did he get life? I got high a little bit, that's all.
A little bit.
A little bit.
He was standing in the hall naked, screaming.
So, the governor of New York, Governor Pataki, was on my show yesterday, Robin, and of course, we made some news. I see in one of the papers, I think the New York Post, they say that we were talking about pot the whole time. The AP said, to the cheerleading of Shock Jock Howard Stern, Governor Pataki says the death penalty is saving lives. On Stern's nationwide radio show today, Governor Pataki said the murder rate has been cut in half since he brought the death penalty back to New York State. He says the death penalty has proven it is a deterrent to murder.
Now, are they going to be against the death penalty just because he said these words on our show?
I don't know. Stern was combative with a caller who believed the death penalty is wrong. The broadcaster told the caller if his mother was shot in the head, he'd understand the value of the death penalty. Stern then joked that the caller was Mario Cuomo. Stern ran an abbreviated campaign for governor against Pataki and Cuomo last year.
No, it wasn't last year.
Excuse me, that year. I read it wrong. Restoration of the death penalty was one of Stern's primary campaign planks. Makes me seem like I'm a serious candidate. I like that.
You did have a plank.
I did. I had 3 planks.
The other 2 should have been in your head.
Right. They planked up my head.
What were they? To put the bodies of the executed in potholes, and what was the other?
Yeah, well, to use their crispy remains to fill in the potholes.
Oh, the other one wasn't so bad. It was nighttime construction.
Yeah, it was legitimate.
Yeah, that wasn't one wasn't bad.
Allison, you're on the air.
Oh, thanks. Hi, Howard.
Yes.
Hi, I'm calling from Montreal, and I wanted to tell you we love your show here. There's a whole gang of us at the office who listen to you.
Thank you.
And we want you to keep on reviewing Magic Johnson. I think it is the funniest thing. I was on the train. I was crying. People were looking at it, thought I was insane.
Yeah, I know. You know, everyone says don't be uptight about critiquing Magic Johnson, and, you know, it doesn't get old.
It is so funny. And because it's on at 11:30, I don't think I've ever bothered to watch it.
Yeah, I think more people...
Get your Magic Johnson update.
Yeah, more people get it here than they do... I wonder what it was last night. Did you see it? I didn't see it.
No, I didn't see it at all.
I wonder who was on. You see, now you got me curious.
It's so, but the funniest is that you stop it and then you start critiquing the way it's so funny.
All right, well,
you got to keep it up.
All right, well, let's see what happens. You're getting me. You're getting my juices flowing. Thank you, Allison.
You're psyched.
All right, Allison, big fan of Magic Johnson update.
Yeah.
Yes, Chris. Or Scott.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Whatever. Yeah, whatever.
Go ahead, Scott.
Robin, you got to do me a favor. Talk to him about Yoko, because he's right on the ball about everything except the way he talks about Yoko.
You don't.
What
has he said that's wrong?
Yeah.
What do you say?
How could I be wrong about Yoko? If I'm right about everything else, chances are I'm right about that too.
Well, I've been a fan of yours for about 10 years.
Yes.
I've been a fan of Yoko's for like 20 years.
Well, I guess she wins. Go listen to her radio show.
What are you a fan of?
Her music.
All right.
All right, man.
But you've been busting.
It's everybody. You know what it is? It's personal opinion. Get over it.
I am.
Stupid. Don't argue about music.
Yeah, Sean Lennon is getting a lot of press.
Must be a deaf chink, that guy on the phone.
Oh, stop it.
Kind of thing is that. How could you be a fan of Yoko Ono?
I don't know, because they even had, last night when I came home, I happened to turn on the TV and somebody was, I guess it's some new magazine show they have on CNN.
Yes, I've seen that show.
And they had a whole segment on Sean Lennon. I don't know how long it lasted because I had to bail.
Yeah, you'd think he was in the Beatles.
They were just chronicling his entire life.
Right, every bowel movement.
And talking about the great musical collaboration between he and his mother.
Mm.
And they had some of her warbling on.
No, I mean, it's just not even music.
That's what it sounded like.
Yeah. You're pretty good at it.
Yeah, that was good.
Sean Lennon won the sperm lottery, and that's it. Hey, Casey, where's your tape? Listen to this. We made up with Chevy Chase, and it's been very nice, and everything, we put it behind us. So Casey goes out to the, Planet Hollywood or something, or Hard Rock Cafe last night, because he heard Harrison Ford was going to be there. He's going to interview him.
Oh, okay.
So Harrison Ford isn't there.
Never shows up.
Never shows up. So Casey, just by coincidence, walks out, and there's Chevy Chase.
Oh, no.
Where's the tape? I don't have it. No, where is it? I don't know where it is. Is this it? Oh, here it is.
Tape 2.
Oh, it's on this reel. Okay, good. Thank you. So he sees Chevy.
Uh-huh.
Do you know that we made up with the guy? You busted his balls.
I'm sorry, Howard.
Yeah, what are you doing? Causing problems for us?
No.
Yeah, so anyway,
Mr. Luke Cannon?
Casey's nuts. Listen to this.
How you doing, man? CBS Radio. How you doing today?
How you doing, man? Hey, man.
Everybody's man.
Hey, man.
He's in the locker room, wherever he goes.
Right. How you doing, man?
Gotta make. Why do you have to say man? You know he's a man.
It helps. It helps ease into it.
It's a guy thing. Come on.
Yeah. How you doing, bro?
You never meet a woman and say, hello, woman.
I'm always a bro or man. And I see you're into the bro thing.
Yeah, man.
Hi, brother. Here we go.
What? CBS Radio, how you doing today?
All right. What are you guys doing here?
Just hanging out. Come to see you. Hey, listen, can I ask you a couple questions?
I'm in a hurry. Why?
I'll walk with you.
What's it about?
Because of Phil Hartman's death, are you throwing away your guns or at least hiding them from your wife?
Do you think that's funny?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's kind of nutty.
You really think that's funny?
Yeah.
You think that the idea that Phil's dead and his wife shot him and herself is funny?
No, not that he's dead, no.
You think anything about it is funny?
Yeah.
I don't.
You don't think anything's funny?
I don't think that's funny, no.
I saw some of your movies. That wasn't very funny. Oh! Chevy, how about this feud with Howard Stern?
Then he
How's that going? Come on, Chev. Chev, I love you, brother.
Brother.
An attempt at a joke. Reach it. Come on.
Oh, man. Now we got to call and apologize to Chevy.
Yeah. Hey, it ain't our fault. Well, I'm going to tell Chevy we're firing this guy. I'm not going to fire you, but I'm going to tell him I'm firing you.
I am sorry.
Oh, man. What's up with that?
Man.
Did you forget we made up?
Yeah, I must have. Howard, I saw someone on the street, and I figured, the first thing you always want to do...
What the dealio?
Is just ask him, what's
What about, you had a list of questions for Harrison Ford? Why don't you ask him the Harrison Ford questions?
Because I don't know if they would make any sense.
Sure they would.
That would have been funny.
More than that.
Yeah, the generics.
I guess you're right.
So how was it working with Anne Heche?
Anything. And then you got to bring my name into it.
I know, I've got problems. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the feud with Howard Stern, it's over.
Yeah.
Now it's all starting up again.
Wow.
Jesus.
By the way, I think, saying, hey, are you going to keep guns away from your wife is a legitimate question.
Sure, and maybe some people don't think there's any humor in there, but...
You don't think he should have got that mad at me?
Oh, you don't, huh?
No, he really shouldn't have.
He was being kind of a tough guy, don't you think?
Yeah. Then you should have said, hey, what are your next projects or something?
How does Casey have the nerve to stand there and say, I saw some of your movies, and they weren't funny either?
Because he's a big, tough jock, and he'll kick his ass.
Oh,
how you always say that, man, but I got to tell you.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was growing up, I got picked on all the time.
Oh, really?
I was a bully, dude.
Really?
I totally wasn't.
Really, but now you are.
No, definitely not.
Ask Chevy. He thinks you're a bully.
What is it?
I got to tell you, Howard, I got to... I'm pretty heartless when it comes to this stuff, and even I felt bad when I heard it.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you for two reasons. A, the guy called up here and was nice to us.
Yeah.
If Chevy was at, the screening of 6 Days, 7 Nights, okay, he's
out there in the public.
But the guy's just having lunch.
Right. He was just eating.
He wasn't with his kids, was he? No, he was by himself, Gary. That's
all right, there you go.
That would be wrong.
I admire the fact that you went up to the guy and interviewed him. Just, I don't know.
Now I got to call his publicist today and apologize.
Right.
And, like I said, he's trying to make up. He's not trying to...
Right. No, he's trying to make a legitimate effort.
I give the guy a lot of credit for calling here.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Listen, we had an accident. That's all.
So should I make that decision when I see people from now on? Say maybe.
No, go ahead with your own judgment.
Can I tell him something?
Yeah.
Everything you did yesterday was perfect.
Except
for mentioning Howard's name, because then you could choose what to do with it.
Right.
I understand.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Won't happen again.
All right. Sure it will.
You're right. It will.
All right. Let him use his own judgment.
Yeah. Use your own judgment. I don't want to impede your creativity.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
I've seen some of your movies.
You want to hear it again?
Oh, that is so heartless.
It really is. Very cruel. Very cruel.
What movies have you done, Casey?
Nothing. He's done nothing. He was a failed football player at some college. I don't know.
Carried around some big ring. Have you seen that ring he wears?
He's not even like a real football player. He's got a big ring.
You'd think he won the Super Bowl.
I know.
How you doing, man? CBS Radio. How you doing today?
Someone comes up to you, how you doing, man? You figure, they ain't from CBS Radio.
Yeah.
What?
CBS Radio. How you doing today?
All right. What are you guys doing here?
Just hanging out. Come to see you. Hey, listen, can I ask you a couple questions?
He's all befuddled. Come to see...
and he's making up his own questions. This is all on his own.
Yeah, this is on his own.
I'm in a hurry. Why?
I'll walk with you.
What's it about?
Because of Phil Hartman's death, are you throwing away your guns or at least hiding them from your wife?
Do you think that's funny?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's kind of nutty.
You really think that's funny?
Yeah.
You think that the idea that Phil's dead and his wife shot him and herself is funny?
No, not that he's dead, no.
You think anything about it is funny?
Yeah.
I don't.
You don't think anything's funny?
I don't think that's funny, no.
I saw some of your movies. That wasn't very funny. Chevy, how about this feud with Howard Stern? How's that going?
Just to yell out my name.
Come on, Chev. Chev, I love you, brother.
There he goes. Oh, great.
Man.
That's funny.
I love you, brother.
Did he chase him out?
If Chevy's listening, man, that guy's just out of control.
He's a kid.
He's a
He
kid.
doesn't know anything.
He didn't know what he's doing. He's just trying to make his way in the world, that's all.
Oh, dear.
All right. Woo! Hoofa! Booyah! Booyah!
Oh, did you hear what happened to Quentin Tarantino?
No. Oh, no. Was he in a
He
fight?
got arrested.
For what?
For that fight.
You're kidding.
No.
Now they're arresting him?
Now they're arresting
I mean, isn't it a little late?
I guess they just got around to finishing the investigation, so he did get to go on last night. He's on Broadway and Wait Until Dark.
Yeah.
But I think they arrested him right afterwards.
Well, his career's going well.
Sheesh.
Yeah, Tyrone, you're on the air.
Yeah, man, what's up?
Hey.
Hey, man, why you keep on cranking on the brothers, man?
Oh, please, another bad black impression by a white guy.
I'm a black man, baby. I'm a black man. What are you talking about?
All right. Millen, whatever kind of name that is.
Yeah. Hey, Howard.
Yes.
I want to know, whose side are you taking in the Van Halen-David Lee Roth war?
What is the name Millen? M-I-L-L-A-N, is that?
M-I-L-A-N.
M-I-L-A-N?
Yeah.
And you made that name up or your parents gave that?
My parents gave it to me.
And what do they call you, Millie?
Millen.
What's your nickname, Mill?
Where
Millie.
are your parents from?
My dad's from India. My mom's from Texas.
It's an Indian name.
Yeah.
Millen.
It means union, I think.
Why don't they just name you Union?
Yes, at least we don't know what they were going for.
Millen. Why do parents do that?
They get that right, and they saddle you with it for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm going to change it, so. Well, anyways, I want to know whose side are you going to take? Whose side are you taking in the Van Halen-David Lee
I met
Roth?
this kid the other day, Joaquin Phoenix. You know him?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right. He's an actor. It's spelled J-O-A-U-Q-I-U-N.
You don't know what it is.
Yeah, what is
It's
that?
a nightmare.
Yeah, nice kid, but what the hell is
Well,
it?
that whole family, everybody got a messed up name.
Oh.
River, Joaquin,
Oh,
they were
man.
all over the map.
My parents wanted to name me Go Wash Your Feet. Go Wash Your Feet. But, did you know that?
No.
That was my first name. Go Wash Your Feet.
Did you change your name?
Yeah.
I understand why.
To Howard. Go Wash Your Feet. That's my Indian name. Go Wash Your Feet. You know what Jackie's name was? Hindu Shabag. All right, Milan, what did you say? What war am I on?
Douchebag.
What side of the Van Halen war am I on?
Yeah.
The David Lee Roth Van Halen war.
Oh, I like David Lee Roth. I mean, you know what? I don't think I have a side.
You're neutral. You're like Switzerland.
Yeah, but I like David Lee Roth Van Halen.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I don't know if that means I'm on his side.
Dave's new album is...
All right.
I mean, we've had everybody in here.
Yeah, we like them all. Everybody. We're in love today. I know who I don't like. You, Milan. And your name. Mike, you're on the air. Thank you. Yes. Brr, 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 brr. Brr. Oh, so who was on, not Keenan Ivory, Magic Johnson show?
Last night?
It was Suzanne Summers. Sexy Suzanne Summers. I think he's already running out of the superstars.
Right, that's it.
Yeah. How you doing, Ms. Summers? I would like to infect you.
Stay closer.
What about that? What about me infecting you? I wonder if he kissed her.
I don't know. See, we don't have the tape now.
Kevin, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Howard.
Yeah.
You've been talking about magic and these different women and everything. I used to go to a lot of his pool parties.
Is that right?
In the early to mid 80s here in L.A.
Are you healthy?
And let me tell you something. Oh, I'm very healthy because I'm very straight. But we all got laid like crazy. But Magic did have a lot of gay guys that hung around those parties, and some of them were so homosexual, it was unbelievable. And we would see Magic and other people coming out of these little huts, cabana type.
You know, I can't go along with this. You know, just because some gay guys are at a party don't mean
True, Howard.
doesn't mean he's gay.
We don't know that you ever even met Magic Johnson.
Yeah, you could say it's true. I don't know that. You You know what I'm saying?
We weren't there. We don't have, you don't have corroboration.
I know a lot of guys refuse to believe that you can get AIDS having heterosexual sex.
Oh, people have done it.
Oh, it's
Yeah. It's like 2 guys who have.
Everybody knows here, though. Everybody knows.
All
right, well, you know. We don't know.
Howard.
You can't prove it to me on a phone.
Howard, one more thing, Howard. Howard.
Yes.
Why is Robin so involved in the show all of a sudden? What has happened to the show?
What do you mean?
When did I get involved in the show?
I thought she's always been...
When wasn't I involved?
I thought you were always involved in the show.
Nothing like just in the past year, she is always chiming in on guests and your sentences and commentary.
Oh, please. Did you just start listening?
Finish now. And I'm wondering, is this something you decided that she would be a bigger part of the show now?
Yes.
Well, she's ruining the show, Howard.
That's my plan.
Stop listening.
Because she's not funny.
Then you stop listening.
Jackie's great. Fred is fantastic.
And you're
Howard,
silly.
Robin just chimes in. She walks all over your statements. You can never finish a sentence anymore.
Right. Actually, the truth is, I really don't have... I'm pretty good for half a sentence. Most times I don't even have a point.
F you.
All right, thank you. Well, listen, what can I... Robin, you're fired. What can I say?
Thank you. I can go to sleep now.
Fred is fantastic. Fred is great.
Well, you spend some time with him.
Everybody loves Fred.
Sound effects. Fred's sound effects are perfect. He always chimes in.
Right.
Just at the right time.
Right. Well, now he's getting a big fat head. Thank you.
Thanks to you.
Now all of a sudden you compliment Fred once and he stops working. You ever notice that with Fred?
You'll never hear another sound effect.
If I tell Fred he did something good, you'll never hear anything. He's like, well, I've done my job then. That's it. That's right. Want to speak to Gary the retard?
Oh, sure.
All right, then I got to take a break. Yeah, Gary the retard.
Hey, Howard!
Always as happy as ever.
Yeah.
Don't you love that?
What?
I'm going to be back there again.
What?
So I'm coming back to your show again.
Yeah, Gary the retard's going to be on for that handicapped...
The Star Search?
Yeah, handicapped Star Search, retard Star Search, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and whoever, Gary will be one of the judges.
I'm going to be one of the judges against all the good-looking women.
Right, and also maybe you'll be a judge for the crepitation contest, too.
Yes.
All right?
He doesn't know what that is.
Hi, Robin.
Good morning.
Good morning, Robin.
Good morning.
You know what makes me nuts?
How you doing?
You know what makes me nuts? He's going to have a fantastic weekend.
He's happy now.
Oh, we are.
What are you doing this weekend?
Nothing. I've been sitting down listening to you on the air. You sounded good back there, Howard.
Right, and you're going to have a fun weekend, though, right? I mean, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a ball.
Right.
And all of us can go out partying.
Right.
You got to bring friends?
I'm telling you.
Hey, guess who's listening to me on the air down here?
Who?
Davis from Albany, Oregon. I mean, not from Albany, from Portland.
I'll be muttering and cursing all weekend and fighting. And
He'll be having a good time. He said he's going out partying. He's got friends.
Yeah, he's got friends.
Wow.
I got friends.
Got a bunch of retards he hangs around with.
Hey, I like you too, Robin. I think you're sweet. I think you're cute.
Do you hang out with other retards?
No.
You regular people.
There's regular people down here in Albany. I go out partying myself, so don't feel bad.
All right, man. Anyone ever tell you look like Harrison Ford?
What?
I'm just jealous Robin's in love with him. All right, Gary the retard. Thank you, bro.
Yeah, I'm glad I got to see Lisa Heidi. I'll see you probably Wednesday or Tuesday.
All right, we'll see you then.
Okay, bye, sweetie.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Calling you sweetie.
He's a pisser, that guy. He's coming in to judge the handicapped...
Star Search.
I thought he was singing there. Yeah, he's coming in to judge the handicapped Star Search.
I'm the creature from outer space.
And he's a good singer.
I'm coming over to mess up your place. I'm going to step on your carpet with my dirty feet. Rub mayonnaise all over your sheets. Take all your records out of their sleep.
Hi, this is Boy George. You're tuned to Howard Stern. Very dangerous.
Okay, we'll come back. Are we going to listen to Magic Johnson today, or are we putting an end to it?
You want to start? See what happens?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we'll have to do that.
The Howard Stern Show.
I'm Fartman. I'm Fartman. Fartman. Hey, it's a whole farting thing going on here. Beautiful. Real mature. Oh, yeah. Hey, David Lee's coming in today. This is a great song, isn't it? Look at you dancing around. What is that called? Robin has on a hula skirt and a belly shirt. And is wildly just undulating.
This kind of music, if you don't move, it'll drive you crazy.
I love this song. David Lee's coming in today. These were the Van Halen years I most cherished. Ivan Reitman's coming in. He's got a new movie opening this weekend. You know, Ivan, how come he doesn't buy a couple of spots on our show?
We don't have any spots.
I don't know. I'm busy doing Norm Macdonald commercials. Where's the moolah? Where's the moolah, baby? We like a nice little payoff. Don't be a schnurrer.
Spend your money here.
Show me the money. I bet you everybody else is getting some of that 6 days, 7 nights money. Where's the buy on my show? No more free plugs for Ivan.
Right.
I mean, we have a friendship.
End of story.
You can't abuse my friendship. Hey, Freddie, you think that drum part on that song, do you think that the beginning drum part is done by humans, or is that...
That almost sounds a little overdubbed or something.
Right. I mean, there's something going on there.
I think it can't possibly be done by humans.
I mean, this drumming is fast.
I mean, that's intense.
You think this drum is real?
Well, this part is.
Yeah.
That's pretty fast.
I couldn't do this. Then again, I can't play anything. I can't even play drums on these boots are made for walking. Hey, I got on the phone. This guy's actually part of the E special that's going to air on OJ tonight. E is running an OJ special. This guy is OJ's caddy. Hey, Mitchell.
Good morning, Howard.
How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Good morning, Robin.
Good morning.
How do you get to be OJ's caddy?
Well, basically, I caddied for him and his group for 5.5 years.
Before the murders?
Pardon me?
This is before the murders?
Yeah, this was before the murders, yes.
I see.
And I caddied for him the morning of the murders, Sunday morning.
Wow.
And
was OJ acting strange the morning of the murders?
Well, I don't know. Danila Coverman said that you saw this special already. But
I haven't seen any special.
Oh, okay. But anyhow, you know who Danila is.
No, I don't.
Oh, anyhow.
So far, we ain't connecting, bro.
Oh, okay. Well, anyhow.
But anyhow.
You asked me how you start caddying for him, and you just you gain their confidence, and then you're in the group. And
did he have a knife in his golf bag that morning?
You know, he had a funny golf bag that was it was a Swiss Army knife endorsed golf bag.
Really?
And I don't know if you remember that he was on the board of Swiss Army knife.
Yes, I do. Was he? I also remember he was on the board of this radio station.
Yes, in front of the broadcasting.
Right. What did he act odd that morning of the murders?
Yeah, there was an incident that happened that morning that was widely, covered, and wondering why it never showed up in the court. Of course, you never heard anything about Riviera during the trial anyhow, for some reason. But that morning, he got in the face of a guy that he'd been playing golf with and probably known for 10 years. His name is Craig Baumgarten, who's a producer.
Yeah.
And, I can't tell you I'm sure, on the radio what he said in verbatim, but there, very shortly into the round, there was an incident that began over nothing, and OJ literally got in this guy's face and said, "I'll kick your blankety blank blank right here and now on this blankety blank golf course."
Really?
What the hell is that? Yeah, and literally got within inches of his face, and the tirade continued for a good 20 minutes.
So he had a good bug up his ass even that morning.
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah, correct.
Then he must have got wild that night.
Yeah, he didn't get any better the rest of the day.
He did a little wilding that night.
Yeah.
And after that, he calmed down.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of soothed that savage beast.
And the funny thing was that it started over nothing. something that
Did he ever get high on the golf course?
Pardon me?
Did he ever get high on the golf course?
I never saw any drug usage.
So you admit there was no drug usage on the golf course?
Yeah, I never saw anything. No.
And what are you, a white guy?
Yeah.
OJ ever golf with black guys?
Pardon me?
Did OJ ever golf with black guys?
Just Marcus Allen.
That's it, huh?
That was it. Yeah.
You had to be a famous black.
Yeah.
And that was kind of a funny thing too. That whenever him and Marcus played, they never played with the rest of the members of the country club.
Right. They kept it real.
They stayed just the two of them.
I don't want you with my white friends.
Different group.
I would enjoy playing with you alone.
You can play with me, but alone.
Yeah.
Oh,
so since the murders, have you seen him on the course looking for the real killer or anything?
Well, I've ran into him quite a few times.
Yeah. Does he say, "Why don't you caddy for me anymore"?
Well, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. It was kind of a strange moment.
What do you say to him? Do you say, "Hey, OJ, sorry to hear about your troubles" or something?
No, I just, I talked to him.
Was he a good tipper?
Pardon me?
Was he a good tipper?
Yes, I would say yes. Yeah, he paid me well for the services that I provided on the golf course.
And what does a caddy make? I'm curious.
Yeah.
Well, that's difficult to say, but, a good caddy...
what do you mean it's difficult to say?
Well, because it varies during the time of the year, and it varies...
Well, what's a guy who go caddies? You sound like a pretty bright guy. Caddy sounds a little, like a teenager should be doing that job.
No, you'd be surprised at the kind of money that guys make doing that. Yeah,
really?
I don't know. You can make, in the summertime, if you work hard, you can make $1,000 a week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And you get to hang out on the golf course. That's not so bad.
You get to hang out on the golf course, right. And it kind of depends on your clientele.
And did you say that OJ cheated at golf?
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. That was another...
How does one cheat at golf? What do? They kick the ball?
Yeah, they improve their lie, which is called where the ball is. Usually that's the normal thing.
I mean, he waits till no one's looking and he kicks the ball?
Yeah, and gives himself into the shorter grass, or just that the ball sits up a little nicer so you can get the club head on it.
And since you saw this, didn't the other people playing golf see it? And didn't they say, OJ, you're cheating?
Well, this went on for a while, and it was kind of funny. There was actually a big argument about this on the golf course at one point in time, and actually I detail all this in a book that I've written.
Oh.
But called Confessions of a Caddy.
Oh, no kidding. Is that you're looking for a publisher, right?
Well, eventually, yeah, sure.
Right.
Sure, 44,713 words. So
you counted all the words.
I can't believe that.
It's hard to believe that you could write 44,000 words based on being OJ's caddy.
Well,
imagine if you really hung with the guy.
It's certainly not all about him. He's a very small part of it. He's probably maybe 5 or 10% at best.
Well, right. Who else is in it?
Well, there's a number of celebrities in it.
What about, let's see.
That I've caddied for.
Who are some of the celebrities? Joe Pesci?
Yeah, Joe Pesci, Tiger Woods, James Worthy, Bill Russell, Vitas Gerulaitis, Fernando Valenzuela, Dr. J, one of your favorites, Steve Garvey.
Steve Garvey's one of my favorites.
Ernie Banks, Terry Bradshaw.
I see Rick Dees also.
Alice Cooper, yeah. Sherman Block, Mayor Reardon, Rick Dees, yep. Mm-hmm.
Rick Dees on the golf course. Should be home working on his show. So, Joe Pesci, a nice guy, or did he get into a few fights himself on the golf course?
Joe Pesci was an interesting guy, but I wouldn't say that I necessarily would I don't know. Most of those guys were pretty vulgar at times. And
Is Joe Pesci a good tipper?
Yeah. Yeah.
Magic Johnson a good tipper?
Yeah.
Is he a good golf player?
No, he's not.
He's awful.
Pretty bad.
Marcus Allen?
There anyway.
Marcus Allen a good golfer?
From what I hear, he's pretty good now. When I saw him play, he wasn't very good at all. But
what about that jackass Rick Dees? Is he a good golfer?
Rick Dees is a fairly good golfer, yeah. He's a good tipper, too.
What did he give you?
He gave me, actually, one day I worked with him, he gave me $300.
Give you a $300 tip?
Yeah, for a round of golf, yeah.
Do you work for tips only?
That's pretty much it.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah, no, you're not paid by the club. You're paid directly by the person you work for.
Let me ask you something. Since you were OJ's caddy for 5 years, can't you somewhat relate to him in that you had some domestic violence, right?
Correct.
What happened?
Well, it was kind of fun. Well, it wasn't funny, but it was, again, all these problems were in place before the murders, so I don't blame any of my marriage on that, but it was kind of interesting.
What happened? You caught your wife cheating, didn't you?
Oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, that was it, yeah.
You caught her cheating?
Mm-hmm.
With who?
Mm-hmm.
With O.J.?
No. But no, I had there was no domestic violence.
How do you catch your wife cheating? How is she so stupid that she can't hide her cheating from you?
Or did you walk in on her?
Oh, no. I let her deny it until it became obvious that it was a lie.
How did you catch her?
Oh, basically I confronted her verbally.
Oh, and she admitted it.
Yeah, well, it was, yeah.
Did you beat your wife?
Pardon me?
Did you beat your wife?
Never.
Were the police called in?
Yes, they were.
Why were they called?
Well, it was, I told her that if she wanted to leave the house, she could, but she had to make a couple phone calls first.
Mm-hmm.
And when she called her, and I told her she had to call her mother, and then I'd give her the keys to the car and she could leave and she would never have to come back. And
why did you insist your wife leave make phone calls to her mother?
Well, it was just that, hey, I wanted her to realize what she was doing, that she was walking out of this relationship after 14 years. And I think you...
This a white broad?
Yeah.
Oh.
So why were the police called? Because you were...
Listen, so she called her mother, and her mother then called the police.
Oh.
Mother called the police.
The police came to the house, yeah.
I see. So, I mean, and there was no arrest or anything made, was
there? Oh, no, absolutely not. No, I would venture to say that I was, filled with a great deal of anger, no question about it, when it finally came to a head. And
so now you're single?
Yes, uh-huh.
And you're still a caddy?
Pardon me?
Are you still a caddy?
No, I'm not.
What are you now?
Well, actually, I got run over by a car a few months ago.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Did you put that in the book? Quickly, scribble that down.
Yeah.
You got run over by a car?
You got run over?
I got run over by a car, yeah.
So what do you do? Can you walk?
Well, before that, I can walk. It was my arm was broken in 3 places. I got away pretty good considering what happened.
And what'd you do? You got a little settlement so you stopped working?
Not yet. No, not yet.
You're working on getting one.
Well, eventually, I'm sure, yeah. Well, somebody's got to pay the doctor bills.
Right.
So, but, yeah, thank goodness the guy stopped, and he had insurance and
right.
whatnot, and thank goodness I didn't get run over by the car that was right behind him.
Right.
But
how do you arrange? Can you arrange getting hit by a car? Because I would like that. I would like to.
Wait a minute. How did he do it? What happened to him?
I don't understand how you got hit by a car. You're a bright guy.
I was riding a bicycle.
Oh, that makes sense. I see.
And he pinched me basically into the parked cars.
I see. Yeah, a lot of guys when I ride a bicycle.
They get close to you.
They get angry that you're riding a bicycle. Yeah. I think they get a little angry at it.
Yeah, well,
they do. But this guy didn't get angry.
No, he didn't get too bad. No, he knew he was in the wrong.
All right.
And thank goodness he stopped and whatnot. But yeah, it was an interesting relationship for 5.5 years out there on the golf course and the people that I worked for. And, like I said, I can totally relate to, when you love somebody.
Why does O.J. want to go out on the golf course and kick the ball? You know what I mean? Think about it. I mean,
if you're playing the game, why wouldn't you want to play it?
For real.
Howard, can I answer that?
Yeah.
I swear, because I played golf with guys, because O.J. is so competitive, and he wins at everything he does, whether it's checkers or football or anything, and he just wants to win.
Really?
Yeah, and there's also this element, too, that...
but they want, it's like you're going out there to improve your game, so you want to win under those circumstances?
You want to win under... The real player wants to play the game honestly, because that tells you how good a player you are.
Right.
But see, O.J. was raised that in any other sport, if you get away with cheating, it's okay.
Right.
As long as the ref doesn't see the foul, then you've done good. You're actually rewarded for that.
Boy, for a caddy, you know a lot of stuff.
Analyze this whole thing.
You should be president of the United States.
Well.
All right, hey, listen, Mitchell Mesko is the guy's name. He's got a book. He's shopping for a publisher right now called Confessions of a Caddy. Okay, Mitchell?
I'm in Los Angeles.
All right, man.
Thank you, Howard.
Later.
All right, bye.
There you go, Confessions of a Caddy. Weird thing,
How do you get to be a caddy?
I don't think it can be that difficult.
Why would you be a caddy?
Every once in a while, a friend of ours is good to us, and we always tell him we'll help him out. And Marshall Fine's been good to us.
Yes, he has.
He's a newspaper writer. He's written some very favorable articles about us. So I said I'd give him a plug. Marshall Fine will be signing copies of his unauthorized bio on Harvey Keitel tomorrow at Borders Books in Mount Kisco at 2 p.m. Hey, you're nice to me, I'm nice to you. There you go. You know what an announcement like that's worth, Robin?
Several $1,000s.
Several thousand? Millions.
Millions?
That's right.
I didn't know it was millions now.
How do you get to become a caddy? You fail at everything else in life. What else could it mean? Who the hell wants to be a caddy sitting carrying golf clubs?
I wanted to ask the guy, is the wife still with the guy she left him for?
Oh, who knows? I don't know. He was going into some long-winded
I
explanation.
know, he never could get to the point very quickly.
No, I had to move along there. Yeah, Big Black, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Is this Howard Stern?
All right, don't do your Magic Johnson impression.
Oh, yeah.
I can see where he's going. Everybody's a comedian.
Did you get the tape up yet of the show?
No, we don't have it. Kanji decided not to tape it.
Oh, he didn't take it.
Okay. I can't hear you.
Why is he whispering? He lives alone.
I don't know.
I'm sorry. You can't hear me too?
I think it's our phone system. I truly do.
Talk louder.
Yeah, when I went upstairs, I taped the show, and it was the funny part with Samuel L. Jackson.
Is he weird or what?
He's very strange.
Big Black.
Very strange.
Oh, I'm getting tape. Oh, go ahead.
Why is he talking so?
I don't know. I don't know what he's doing.
I think maybe he's cradling the phone while he works on something.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the tape ready.
I see. The phone is under his chin.
All right, then just do it.
I'm distracted.
Do you know who I got a letter from while he's queuing up?
Well, who?
Do you know who Dick Van Patten is?
Yeah, the actor from 8 is Enough.
Yeah, that old guy.
Yeah.
Dear Howard, since you become a dog owner, I thought you should have these dog food rolls. Dogs love it, and they make excellent training treats. Dick Van Patten's Pet Foods Incorporated.
Oh, no, he's got a pet food company?
Yeah. He sent me pet food.
Howard, you got to see his pet food.
What is it?
It's so odd looking. They look like big balonies.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And what do you do with them?
You give them to your dog?
It's like a big, like you know how a big bologna comes wrapped in a plastic wrapper?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you cut off hunks of it or if you just give them the whole bologna.
Because why would you want your dog eating all that? They get sick and they have diarrhea.
Well,
yeah, a little treat is one thing, but a big sausage?
Yeah, I don't want to eat the whole sausage.
No, but it's thick. I mean, it's thick like a bologna.
Really?
And it's real, so you could eat it.
It's food.
Well, it's dog food. I don't know what's in it.
So maybe you just give him a bologna every day.
Or maybe you cut a piece off or something. I'm not sure.
Put it in his meal.
Cut up some bologna. Put it on a sandwich. What are you supposed to do? Feed your dog a whole bologna?
I guess you probably cut off chunks of it and throw it in his bowl.
Maybe that makes some sense.
They don't even give you instructions as to what
Maybe then you don't need the bowl. You just stick that thing down on the floor and they eat it. You know what I mean?
You know
Did they ever tell you to give your dog meat or bones or?
No, I give dry cereal and it's measured out a cup and a half in the morning, cup and a half at night.
He eats like you.
Yeah. Measured. And the water's even measured.
Come on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because that's how you train them.
Yeah, otherwise you'll be
peeing all day. Yeah.
I'm actually getting a dog for a weekend.
And what's that up? What's up with that?
My neighbor. He got a new dog, and he has to do your dog sit.
And you're going to do it?
Yeah.
Oh, you're a good neighbor. I thought you hated your neighbors.
No, just that one guy.
Oh.
I love the rest of my neighbors, just this one guy.
Yeah. You there, Big Black?
Yo.
All right, let me hear it.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, but anything else you got going on? No. I just wanted to come by here and say, you know, best of luck and how proud I am of you, watching you every night, you know, and I know that this show is here forever. Oh, man.
Yeah, right. Forever.
It seems like forever when you watch it.
Yeah, it seems like more than an hour.
That's the first, negative note on the show. Like, he's acknowledging that there's criticism of him. That's why he said this show's going to be here forever.
Is that a black thing? You go forever? Because I notice a lot of guys are saying stuff like this. Forever. I'm so unhip. Forever. I think your show's here forever. I want to go on that show and say that. I'm going to say, Magic, I'm so proud of you. I just want to say, I think your show's here forever.
and what was funny is, Susan Summers was there, and she was, in between him and, Kobe Bryant. So it really looked funny, this blonde.
Did she kiss OJ? I mean, OJ. Did she kiss Magic?
She did one of those, kiss on the cheek joints, you know.
Yeah.
On the side of the mouth. I mean, on the side of the, near the ear.
Almost kissing the air.
Yeah. Almost the back of his head.
That was so funny.
All right, man. Is that it?
And also, he kept busting on Suzanne. He was saying,
You playing this for me, or are you going to give me a review?
He's going to give us his own version of it.
Yeah, all right. Leave me alone, will you?
One other thing.
Yeah.
Did you hear that Kathy Lee is definitely going to Jones' daughter's wedding?
What?
Kathy Lee Gifford. She's going to Jones' daughter's wedding.
Is that right?
Yeah. She said that on the show. When Joan co-hosted, she said, Kathy, you're definitely coming. She says, yeah, I'm coming to Joan.
Yeah, my wife goes, we got invited to Joan Rivers' daughter's wedding. And I go, yeah. She goes, we're going to go, right? And I went, no.
Oh, you're not going to go?
She goes, what do you mean? My wife, I go, I said, think about it. I have Joan Rivers on my show. I don't know Joan Rivers from a hole in the head. I said, and her daughter I know less. I said, what am I going to do? What is the point in going to Joan Rivers' daughter's?
You went to Trump's wedding. You don't know him.
And it was pointless, too. It's ridiculous because I'm famous and they're famous.
Oh, come on, let's go.
You go.
Oh, you.
And I said to her, she's like, all excited. And I went, then my mother calls me up. You're going to Joan Rivers' daughter's wedding, aren't you? And I just went, no. Get away from me.
You really aren't going to go.
Why? It's phony. Why would I do that? What am I going to do?
Kathy Lee.
Kathy Lee. I was on a plane with her for 6 hours. It was the most uncomfortable moment.
But you didn't get a chance to talk. See, that's
No.
a social setting.
See, if she was classy, she would have come over and said hello to me. Her and Giff were sitting there all panicked. Whole plane was sitting and watching us like World War III was going on.
Yeah, it's better than the movie.
But guys would walk up to me and go, what happened? Did I miss anything? They'd go to the bathroom. They ask me if they missed anything.
That's right. Did the encounter happen?
Yeah.
That's funny. You got to go to the wedding, man.
I can't tell you how shocking it was when I was sitting like 2 rows behind them to the left.
Yeah.
And I swear to you,
aisle there and another.
I got on the plane and I was reading I had my head buried in a magazine. It wasn't until we were about a half hour into the trip that I suddenly realized that she and her husband are sitting there. And I went, oh, my God.
But does Joan know that she invited both of you people?
I didn't know that she invited both of us, no.
I think Joan knew. Sure, Joan knew who she invited.
Yeah, I was not aware of it. Isn't Joan aware how uncomfortable that would be?
She's probably put you at the same table, I'm thinking.
Right.
And Kathy said, I'm definitely going.
And why would Kathy, that's another thing. She's a phony broad. Why would she go to Joan Rivers' daughter's wedding? You know?
I guess they're big friends.
Yeah.
You want to hear the Susan Summers clip?
All right, go ahead. If you got a clip, play it.
And, it's amazing. Candid Camera is a hit.
Yeah,
people love that show. It's part of Americana, you know.
You got to promise me something.
What?
You won't get fired.
I'll try.
Look at that. He's worried about her getting fired.
Yeah, he better worry about himself getting fired.
Well, he's so rich, he doesn't really need a
That's
job.
true.
It's just something to do.
Yeah, it could be like he's out on the street. All right, it disturbs me that he's rich. Okay, thank you. Yo. Yeah, man. Yes, Eddie, go ahead.
Hello, Howard.
Yes.
Can you get Art Linkletter out of the death pool, please?
What does that mean?
In other words, you got him in the death pool. We got a show. We got Kids Say the Darndest Things. I'm Art's partner. We've been #1 16 weeks in a row on CBS in our time slot. So I hope you do great on CBS. I'm looking forward to your show.
What the hell are you talking about, Eddie?
You got Art Linkletter. You keep mentioning Art Linkletter.
Yes.
In the death pool.
Right.
Okay.
Well, why would you want his name out of the death pool?
Well, because I'm tied in with Art Linkletter. He's my partner.
Yeah, but what's that got to do with it?
The death pool doesn't kill people.
Yeah, the death pool doesn't kill people.
But it just gets me nervous.
Oh, get out of here. You're just looking for a plug for that TV show.
Well, it's been #1 for 16 weeks.
Oh, get out of here. Loudmouth.
You keep talking about this.
Everybody's looking for free plugs. Buy some commercials. Crying out loud.
#1, they can afford it.
Yeah. Everybody's #1. He's #1. Art Linkletter's back on TV?
Well, Bill Cosby's actually doing the show. I guess they show old clips of Art, and maybe he owns the rights to that or something.
But Bill Cosby really doesn't want to be home. That guy just keeps working.
All the time. If he's not working, he's giving a speech.
Yeah, he's an altar cocker, and he's just running around. I don't think he wants to stay home.
Got the TV show, the speaking tour.
A couple of new movies opening this weekend. As we said, Ivan's going to come in here 6 days, 7 nights with Harrison Ford. There's a Jennifer Love Hewitt movie opening.
Can't Hardly Wait.
Can't Hardly Wait.
The Norm Macdonald movie.
Norm Macdonald movie's opening up this weekend. And then there's, I guess some movies have been around for a while, like, Truman Show.
Yeah, this is the second week for the Truman Show.
I wonder if that'll make a lot of money this weekend.
It'll be interesting to see.
Something called The Perfect Murder.
That's the Michael Douglas film.
And Godzilla's still around, barely. That's bombing pretty big, because that thing costs like $150 million to make, and I think it's only made like...
Well, it made $74 million its first weekend.
It did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I see, it's total gross, $114 million.
Right.
That ain't bad.
No, and they haven't even gone worldwide yet.
Right. Well, there you go. And Bulworth is out. That's the
Warren Beatty movie.
Warren Beatty film, $51.8 million. Huh. That's weird. And also You want me to do Casey Kasem right here?
Sure. What's going on in the music biz?
All right.
What's #1?
Number one...
No, do it the other way.
Oh, you want me to count backwards like Casey? You like that? Okay, top 5 national sales. Number 5 is Hope Floats from the soundtrack. Sheryl Crow.
Oh.
You familiar with this?
I heard it in the movie.
I would be strong enough to fight when you're weak and true.
You know that song? Number 4 is from another soundtrack, the Godzilla soundtrack. That's The Wallflowers and Heroes.
All right.
Number 3 is from a soundtrack album, City of Angels, Goo Goo Dolls. Smashing Pumpkins is...
Number 2?
Yeah, very, very... very successful album, I guess. And number 1 is your favorite, Robin, Master P. You say nigga P?
Nigga P, nigga P.
Nigga P.
And we gon' be until we dead and gone, nigga. Wake up.
That's the number 1 album, man.
Wake up, guys.
Nigga P. Nigga P, a bone. Master P, keeping it real. And there you go. There's Casey Stern.
I haven't gotten that one yet.
Casey K. Stern.
I have to go pick that up. That's number 1.
Yeah, that's missing from Michael X. I like that. Nigga P.
Movies versus cans. 2 different slang words for breath. Which one is better? Hear this and other weighty issues debated next on The Howard Stern Show.
Dirty Work with Norm Macdonald opens today. MGM presents the comedy that puts the FU back in fun. Dirty Work. Meet Mitch Weaver, played by Norm Macdonald, a one-time human punching bag who's about to turn his youthful trauma into a thriving business. Picked on, laughed at, beaten up, Mitch and fellow misfit Sam McKenna, played by Artie Lang, survived their childhood years by plotting and carrying out revenge on every small-time crook or thug that crossed their path. From school bullies to meter maids, from slumlords to circus performers, nobody's safe from their revenge, starring Norm Macdonald in his writing and feature film debut. Also starring Artie Lang, Christopher McDonald, and Jack Warden. Now, who's Christopher McDonald? Is that Norm's brother? I wonder. A new comedy for anyone who's ever been the underdog. It's payback time. Dirty Work opens today, rated PG-13. Norm Macdonald now playing at theaters everywhere. Dirty Work.
Here he is, yours truly, David Lee Roth, presenting the world's greatest entertainer, the husband every woman wants, the Prince of Fathers, the king of everything, the practically penisless Howard Stern.
Jackie, Too Many Heineken Martling, his way filthy joke CD, Sergeant Pecker and the Joke Man, is still only $12. $4 U.S. shipping. Also on cassette. Buy 2, get 1 free. Call 1-800-323-KING. Friday night, July 3rd, the wildest night of the year at Rascals in West Orange, New Jersey. For information, 3D animated jokes, visit jokeland.com. David Lee Roth will be in here in just a second so that we can play the gossip game with him and find out what's doing with his new album. Speaking of Ivan's new movie, Ivan will be here later, 6 days, 7 nights. We sent Stuttering John out to the big premiere.
I saw him there. I didn't even recognize him. He had a good display.
Did he interview you?
No. I told you, I sneak into these things.
Good for you, Robin. You will not be seen.
I'm undercover.
I'm super savvy.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, okay. Harrison Ford with Stuttering John right now.
Hi. How are you? Hi, Harrison.
Howard Stern Radio. How are you?
You a big fan?
Of course. Sure.
Harrison, why didn't you ever take acting classes?
Huh?
Why didn't you ever take acting?
I used the money for beer. Thank you.
Is it true you have the biggest schlong in Hollywood?
Yes.
Thanks.
That was it. He ran away?
I bet he's standing there with his wife.
Well, why do they have to tell him it's from Howard Stern?
Somebody whispered that. Who was that?
That's no good. What happened, John? Who's that person saying it's Howard Stern? See, it kind of ruins it.
Yeah, they had the publicist there, so you know, I didn't expect them to do that.
Right.
You know.
Who was there? Michael Bolton?
Yeah.
Michael Bolton, I didn't see
Yeah,
him.
he was there with John. Here's John and Michael Bolton.
It looks good. Hey, Michael, can we ask you a question for CBS Radio? How are you? How's it going?
Let me just check that CBS. All right, come on, bring it on.
Well, do you think Anne Heche's lesbian admissions hurt her career?
Yeah, they kept her out of this movie. Yeah, if you notice, they've cut her out of this movie completely.
Yeah, but you think people aren't going to see it because she's admitted that?
I hope not. I mean, you're here. You don't. I'm sure you don't mind.
How soon do you think it's going to take before Magic Johnson's show gets canceled?
I honestly couldn't. Wait. No, I have no predictions on that. I hope it doesn't. I like Magic.
Why do you think
that's a good question you actually asked. Did you mean to ask a good question?
What's that?
Did you mean to...
Does he know it's from the Howard Stern show?
Yeah.
He does. You see, I hate when they know.
I know, because then they're not off
Sucks,
guard.
yeah.
They're already defensive.
Yeah.
That's a good question about Anne.
Yes.
Because I think that's an interesting statement. I mean, it's the last thing that should happen is whatever, Anne feels the person should affect, the quality of her success, and impact people. I'm hoping the 90s arrived a while ago, but we'll see.
I totally agree.
Say hello to your big boss.
Why do you think there's so many Jews in Hollywood?
Because of the last names, I think probably. Similarity in the last names.
Are you happy with your penis size, Michael?
And here's you got a hold of Anne Heche?
Yeah.
Wow.
She looked good, man.
Yeah.
He calls her Anne Heche, does he?
You call her Anne Heche?
Heche. Who the hell cares?
It's not your problem.
Hi, Anne. One quick question. Hi, CBS. You look very nice tonight.
Well, thank you so much.
Do you think it's right that we get to see female frontal nudity and very little male frontal nudity?
Oh, where do we see female frontal nudity?
Well, in movies.
Not in mine.
Let me ask you a question. Oh, come on, just one more.
Nudity question got you
Why? Would you ever do a movie with Woody Allen, directing?
I'm not going to answer that question.
How about Polanski?
CBS. That was a really safe question. What is it? Just the very thought?
You say nudity and they're shocked.
All right, here is Stuttering John with Miss Universe was there.
Yeah.
Oh, the Miss Universe lady.
She didn't have a clue.
All right, this is Wendy Fitzwilliam. And John is there, and also Lisa, our intern. So after John gets done with her, he hands the microphone to Lisa, and she asks questions. Yeah.
Cool. How are you? This is for CBS Radio, and how are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
It's a beautiful dress. Who is that?
Thank you. I have no idea. My stylist for the blog picked it for me, and I just threw it on.
Because of Phil Hartman's death, are you throwing away your guns or at least hiding them?
Actually, I don't own guns, and I'm totally against
I'm totally against guns. Totally against marriage.
The easy access of guns here in America and all over the world. So if I did have one or a few, I would definitely get rid of it.
Are you satisfied with the size of your breasts?
I'm sorry?
Are you satisfied with the size of your breasts?
Very much so. I'm satisfied with everything about me.
Let me ask you a question.
She's pretty clueless, huh? All right.
Are you here because you like the movie, or are you looking for work?
I'm here because I want to see this movie. I enjoy Harrison Ford very much, and I'm here because I want to see this movie.
Do you think that too much money is being wasted on trying to find out if Clinton got oral sex from Monica Lewinsky?
All right.
You hear the word oral sex and they stop you. Who's that?
Publicist. They're so worried.
All right. They're only standing over you. Every other dopey reporter is asking whatever they want.
I know.
Why did they know we were there? Did you have to get special permission or something?
I think they recognize our producer. I really do.
You do?
Yeah.
Who is our producer?
Doug, because he's getting so known.
Well, then get rid of Doug and put somebody else on.
I know.
Change him around.
I asked if the government's wasting too much money.
I'm not American. I have no opinion on that. Sorry.
But let me ask you one more question. Would you ever allow yourself
to talk to Miss Universe? Hi.
No, that's Lisa?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, so she pretends she's from somewhere else?
Right.
Oh, that's great.
Right.
Hi, Miss Universe. My name is Lisa. Have you ever allowed yourself to be photographed during your period or anything? What? Come on. Did you ever allow yourself to get photographed during your period? Have you ever allowed yourself to get photographed during your period?
What's going on?
They're dragging her away, so as she's going up the escalator, she keeps yelling the question to her.
Oh, I see. All right.
I was going to say, is she just stunned?
Stuck on that question.
All right.
Yes, that's a no response over here.
All right. Very good.
Howard?
Yes.
It's sort of hard to hear, but the funniest part is the publicist comes back to John, and John goes, hey, man, it wasn't me.
All right. Let's get David Lee Roth in here, who obviously always has a lot going on. He is in Van Halen. He leaves Van Halen. He goes solo.
He's in Van Halen again. He goes off Van Halen.
Yeah, he was in Van Halen again. There, look at him. Look at him. Always looks happy.
Wow.
Look at you, man. How you doing? Always happy, man. He's always happy. When I was born, the doctor said to my mother, Howard is happy like a mongoloid. And when I think about David's always happy, man. It don't matter what's going on. Whether you're in Van Halen, out Van Halen, in controversy, it don't matter, man.
You can ask me about full frontal nudity or Anne Hesh or any of that.
Yeah, you have it. What do you care? You'll answer anything. Not a care in the world. How you like all these celebrities, David? They're in rehab every minute. They're constantly. They can't handle their drugs. We had Andy Dick in here. He just got into rehab and he got out. You got, who else?
Scott Weiland.
Leader.
Christian Slater.
Well, you've done your share, right?
I have no problem with, whatever you choose, whatever your menu is, okay?
Right. I know your menu.
But what
yours is beer and pot, right? Be serious.
It's basically mine. I'm old school, I haven't been to sleep since the late 60s.
Right, yeah. But why do these celebrities fall into such trouble with the drugs?
I don't think it's so much trouble that's fallen into the drugs as us having to listen to the now I have changed everything, behold, and they come at us with fangs dripping of wisdom and teaching, and it's like classic Van Halen made you want to maybe have a little drink, dance, and sleep with each other,
right.
And now the modern Van Halen urges us to drink milk and attend therapy.
Right, so you feel that everybody's full of angst. You just went out there, you did what you had to do.
You didn't even know anything was wrong.
Right.
I frankly never saw the guys a whole lot. That was behind the closed doors. I think what happens is...
Anybody know what David's talking about? I never know. It's unbelievable. Hey, David, before we get into your new album, because I got a copy of this new album. I loved it.
Thanks.
And I'm trying to figure out what's going on, where this album can be bought, and all this other stuff.
This album is out right now across the nation.
It is.
Everywhere. Yeah,
all right. Well, I want to hear about this.
Everywhere.
Help me out with this game first, all right? Because you're a celebrity, and you know about all of this stuff.
You've been in the gossip pages.
You've been in the gossip pages your whole life.
Who am I getting away of a good rumor?
Yeah, I always get more phone calls about you and your personal life. I get so many calls about him.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I'm dating Peach Spice.
No, I know so much crap about you. I really do. I wonder, I'm going to ask you about it after we get done with this game. I want to find out if it's true.
I'd like to know what you think you know.
Yeah, I do know some stuff.
I'll follow you.
Yeah, I know stuff about your love life and everything.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to let you. I'm going to let you answer it.
Is Hope Floats somebody that you've interviewed here before, or is that actually a song?
I don't know. I have no idea.
It sounds like a stripper.
Were you shocked at the top 5 songs? Is it a little bit disturbing to you?
I'm afraid to even say the title of the number one.
Yeah, Nigga P? Yeah, I know. You could get killed for that.
Is that like, what is that? Is that an adverb? Is that a command?
I don't know. Yeah, like, is it, hey, Nigga P over there?
Is that a demand?
What is it?
Excuse me, oh, my white brother, but
You never wrote a song like Nigga P, did you?
No, how can I answer that with that in the background?
All right, listen to me. This guy on the phone is a top guy in every journalist is jealous of Mike Walker. Give him his intro, and then let David play this game.
Minds want to know, did David Hasselhoff reject a Baywatch script because it contained stuff that could actually happen?
I want to know. You ain't the only one. Yeah.
Did Mickey Mantle's ghost stroll into Mickey Mantle's New York City restaurant, down 3 shots and a beer, and then disappear with a young babe?
I want to know.
Who the doesn't want to know? Did Christopher Reeve experience a miracle cure, return to Hollywood, and then jump back into the electric wheelchair when he couldn't find any work?
We all want to know.
Outrageous.
Shut the up and let Mike Walker talk.
All right, Mike.
Let's all find out.
Who the hell is Mike?
Of the National
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike.
Hi, Howard. How are you?
What's the matter, man?
Mike.
Hi, Robin.
Do you know David Lee Roth?
David Lee Roth.
How are you, Mike?
I'm fine, man.
Now, what was that? What was that first one?
Now, Mike is the top gossip guy in the country.
Okay.
He's with the National Enquirer. You fart the wrong way, he'll know about it the next morning.
He knows, but
I
sometimes
remember
he does it right.
David, didn't you used to live in the Oakwood Garden Apartments
I certainly did.
when Vanna White lived there?
No, it wasn't Vanna White. It was the singer from Cheap Trick and somebody else who was like right across the parking lot.
Right.
Did you get scared when Mike Walker goes, didn't you use the... Doesn't your heart stop pounding?
Man, I'm the
This is
guy
how
that
long I've been covering David Lee Roth. By the way, I mean this sincerely. You've never heard me say this to any celebrity who's played the game with Howard. Very big fan. Hot for Teacher, still the best video
Very
going.
true. It is.
Thank you
best
very much.
of all time.
I always want to ask you, did you handpick the women for Hot for
yeah,
Teacher?
Of course.
You did?
One by one.
Did you have sex with most of them?
How about the teacher?
What qualifies as most?
How about the teacher? Who was the teacher?
Which teacher? Are you talking about Miss Biology?
The one who came out and danced on the desk.
That was Miss Biology.
Yeah, what's her
Botany.
name?
I think we had to change it to Botany because at the time biology was too risky.
Where'd you find that chick? She's maybe one of the hottest chicks on the planet.
Oh, yeah.
And those gals all went on to do actual legitimate, like, made-for-TV movies and stuff.
Really? Legitimate made-for-TV movie. Wow.
They all went direct-to-video.
Really?
Yeah.
No, but did you bang that chick?
Sure. Well, come on. There's a like you when you're talking about Hot for Teacher.
No,
and you
be
start
honest with me.
lining up California girls.
Did you bang the chick who dances
Guys,
on
get
the
your minds
desk?
out of my Speedos and back on the interview.
You never. What is it with you? You don't kiss and tell?
Can you keep a secret?
Come on, seriously. Why don't you tell me if you banged that girl?
If you don't tell,
we won't tell anybody.
Then you can finally catch.
You're out of your mind.
Well, it's like Gary Del Buddy.
I think you just smoked pot in a green room.
It's like Gary Babalou's asking me backstage, and he's going, so Dave, we were discussing earlier, he says, when we were talking about Ann Hesh and all of this kind of thing, he says, how is it a girl can dabble, but a guy, when he carries on, that's forever? I said, that's because all guys have made a sidebar clause that if we all walk around going, it's okay, it's fine with us, you might be lucky to marry one like the Cat and the Bee Gees.
All right, listen. What's he talking about? What is he talking about?
I never. It took a turn I couldn't follow.
He almost made a point.
Yeah.
All right, you're so out there, man. It's and people ask me.
Oh, I'm out there.
Yeah,
I'm listening to you in the back room.
People ask me all the time. They go, when you speak to like David Lee Roth off the air, is that a put on? Or and I go, I swear to God. One time, remember you called me at my house to tell me about nutrition?
Yeah.
I said He's worse off the air. He tries to make sense on the air.
Nutrition to me is the basic 5 food groups.
Doesn't matter. Van Halen's been a pussy group since she left.
You're damn right. You're damn right.
Well,
hey, I had the boys in here. I finally had Van Halen.
I heard about that. How did that all go down?
Let me tell you about it. Let's play the game first.
Okay,
let's play the game first. It's really Mike Walker's time to... Now, he's going to give us 4 stories. You use your powers of deduction as best you can.
Now that Dionne Warwick's out of their gig, huh?
Yeah. Right, yeah. You're the psychic friend.
Okay.
All right, what you're going to do is listen to these 4 stories and decide which one is false. Which one is false? 3 of these are real. All right, Mike, I turn it over to you.
All right, 3 items from my column next week. One of them is false. First item, not with my husband. David Duchovny hired a new personal assistant, but wife Taya Leone put her foot down.
George Michael?
The gal told David she wanted to be a Playboy playmate and showed him photos revealing her naked truth. Taya had her sacked after just 1 day.
This is the assistant?
Yeah.
You even know who David Duchovny is? David?
With a name like that, I'm going to have to assume true.
But you don't guess yet. Do you know who David Duchovny is?
This sounds like one of the names where you need the parentheses with the name of the show after it.
Do you know this guy, though?
That's my way of answering.
You don't watch X-Files?
Okay, X-Files, I know exactly
that guy.
What you're talking
about. All right, go ahead. All right, go ahead. I know, there's no way.
Hey, this is the day and age when if you don't have a parentheses after most of these names, you have no idea who you're dealing with.
Game. Okay. Sandra Bullock's my Hollywood sweetheart. Filming in London, Sandra stayed 3 months at the super posh Athenaeum Hotel and stunned the manager when she gave them a stack of letters she'd handwritten to every maid, every valet, every waiter, every doorman, concierge, etc., who had served her, along with tips so overly generous that the manager had to gently persuade her to pare them down a tad.
What would you call an overly generous tip?
Self-esteem problem.
Well, I asked the manager that. She said, like, she was going to give the doorman, right? The doorman, who maybe held the door for her a few times, she was going to give him £75, which is close to $100.
Well, wait a minute. If at her point in their career where she's at, that's expected, man.
Yeah.
Wow, David.
Come on.
Yeah,
you want to be the gal, the man, the king, whatever. You tip like crazy.
You stayed in all the hotels across the country?
Tip like crazy? Oh, absolutely.
Did you tip like crazy?
You know, when you're Diamond Dave, you give 20%. That's a base hit.
Right, okay.
Celebrity who accepts responsibility for a celebrity. It's
the only thing I accept responsibility for, Judge.
Yeah. David just gave his cabbie a quarter on the way over here. Mr. Big Spender.
Oh, no, I walked here.
Yeah, you don't have to spend any money. All right, number 3 story.
All right.
Go ahead.
Okay, Kelsey Grammer's been sporting a honey of a welt on the top of his balding head. He hires a woman 3 times a week to massage baby oil, egg whites, and honey into his scalp to prevent sunburn. But one day she left too much on his head, so Kelsey got a real buzz walking across the studio lot when bees drawn to the yummy mixture stung him 3 times in the head.
Holy mackerel. Can that be true that a bee stung on his head?
I think the alibi could be absolutely true that it exists, but I happen to know the gal who visits him 3 times a week.
Is that right? Oh, you've got inside information. All right, number 4. You don't know anything. All right, the 4th story. You don't even know who Kelsey Grammer is. Do you know who Kelsey Grammer is?
We'll talk.
All right, number 4.
right.
Completely out of it. Number 4.
What that designer coffee?
What do you do if you want to make the sequel to a movie, but the stars don't want to do it because the script sucks? You replace the cast. The First Wives Club was a box office smash, and Goldie Hawn, Bette Midler, and Diane Keaton were anxious to do the sequel, but after 6 script revisions, the cast said, look, until we get a good one, we're not rolling, so the studio is thinking of replacing Goldie with Cher, Mia Farrow in the Diane Keaton role, and Kirstie Alley in the Bette Midler role. If the first team doesn't report to the set soon, the second team will report, and the film will be out for summer release.
All right, I'll go first. I'm gonna go first. Okay. I think I know the full story. I believe that it is the last one. I do not believe
that those 3
would turn down any script. I think Bette Midler and the other crew there, Goldie Hawn, will do just about anything. So I am going to say that is absolutely false. Right. I'm going to go to David Lee Roth, who has been a show business insider for most of his adult life. You've got 4 stories. David Duchovny, of course, hiring the Playboy Playmate assistant and Téa Leoni getting rid of her, which you could certainly understand in a marriage. Sandra Bullock maybe handing out sacks of letters of tips. Number 3, Kelsey Grammer, who has a sunburn on his head and get bee stung. And, of course, number 4, the sequel to the movie being chucked and perhaps going with Cher and some other scrubs.
I'm going to have to bounce between 1 and 2 here because usually, the over-tipping kind of a thing, I've seen this before. You
become rich and you feel guilty.
Exactly.
Right.
Either that or you become a preacher or you discover...
Did that happen to you when you came into money? When you came into money and Van Halen was making millions and millions of dollars, did you go around over-tipping everyone just to prove to them that you were a normal guy, good guy?
Oh, yeah. I had made all the mistakes in the entire book 3 times.
Right, right.
So don't look for me in the book, but I helped write it. However, the first one, because of today's image, character, building, and, the whole thing of, let's whitewash everything, I'm going to have to say that number 1 sounds like the gig to me.
You think it's a fake story?
Fired the Playmate.
You don't
I think that really happened.
Oh, you do? Which one do you think is false?
I think probably the one where the guy got stung on the head.
Okay.
I couldn't tell what was
As soon as I hear about welts in Hollywood, it got nothing to do with insects.
All right. David Lee Roth says Kelsey Grammer did not get bee stung on his head. Robin, which story is the full story? Go ahead.
This week,
I think Dave likes this game.
I love this game.
You like games.
I love this.
Yes.
For me, it's either 3 or 4, and I think I'm going with Dave on number 3.
Number 3. Interesting. I never thought you'd agree with Dave.
Well,
Jackie the Joke Man Martling?
Small circles.
You know how much I hate to agree with you, but it sounded like the people that were going to replace them are doing better than the people they were replacing.
That's right.
And it just didn't ring right.
Fred, are you playing this week?
No, I am not.
All right. So here it is.
Wait a minute, Jack. I mean, you're telling me Diane Keaton is doing better than say, Goldie Hawn?
No.
No, he's just saying probably better, like in terms of moves, not in terms of tickets.
Oh.
Let's not even analyze what Jackie just said. Let's just say that he agrees with me that number 4 is the full story.
I don't necessarily agree with David's explanation of me.
Right. And David Lee Roth and Robin say Kelsey Grammer. So let's go. What is the answer?
The answer is that Howard and Jackie are absolutely right. That's a completely phony item, although I don't agree with Jackie's analysis whatsoever.
I don't agree with your introduction.
But there you are.
Right.
Very good. And Robin and
David Lee
Roth are wrong.
Okay.
All right. Hey, listen.
There you are.
All we know is it's a great game, and I want to thank Mike Walker from the National Enquirer. And remember,
it's a pleasure. The great David Lee Roth.
Thank you very much.
Dave,
California girl.
Keep your nose clean, Dave, because this guy will find out about
That's right, Dave.
That's right.
Hey, you build up enough rumors, it's like geology. You get quartz, and then it's granite. Rumor, legend.
All right. All right, Mike, thanks, man.
Thank you.
That's Mike Walker from the National Enquirer.
Ooh, now I know.
Now I know.
Me too.
Thanks, Mike Walker. You're listening to the man who thinks he knows everything, Howard Stern.
David, you played excellently. I don't think you do one celebrity in the whole group. What about seriously? Don't you party with any celebrities? I mean,
really not too many folks in the show business. Folks from show business got mostly, for the most part, have the spine of a chocolate eclair.
Right.
Folks who don't realize the value of what most people actually do for a living.
Most of them are very phony. Are they phony? They only just say what you want to hear?
What kind of animal in the jungle makes the loudest noise is the one that's the most scared.
Right.
Who makes the loudest noise is the rock and rollers and so forth. It's like when you get to know them behind the scenes. How many times have you found somebody that you see is brilliant on television, video, radio, me and you and everything? You get them on here and you go, oh, they're a really nice person. What a boring drag.
I got to tell you something. For years, I thought the reason that Van Halen broke up was because you were difficult. This was just something I thought. But I met Eddie in here for the first time in my life. I had never really met Eddie Van Halen.
That's right. You guys have had like a Hatfields and McCoys thing going on for over a decade.
And Eddie came in. It was great meeting him.
And this was an obvious time for a great healing between you two.
Yes, and it was a great thing to meet him because I'm a big fan of his guitar work and the whole work. So,
which is the funniest thing, because for so many years, even though you've been pulling his little Peter off like a piece of Play-Doh, we know that you're a biggest fan of all of classic VH.
Right, of course.
The days when I was the quarterback.
Absolutely. So I was absolutely thrilled to meet him. But I could see where the two of you would clash. He is crazier than you are.
In which way?
Isn't that amazing?
You like the way I don't even deny that?
Yeah, no, he is extremely...
I don't skip a beat.
He is extremely difficult to deal with. He
is the child that they talk about in school with the attention deficit disorder.
Yeah, he moves around in a wild way.
He doesn't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
And how did you guys get along? Was there any exchange?
We got along fine, but I think I would have a hard time being in any kind of business association with him, whether it be a rock and roll group or anything. I think he'd be very difficult to sort of corral and sit down and say, hey, here's what we're going to do and here's the game plan. I think that he's very much all over the place.
It's possible.
Maybe out to lunch.
I've always been very focused. My life is based on 2 words. Let's go.
Right.
But in terms of where we're going, I've always had a focus with that. I know what I do best.
Right.
I've taken some sidebar stuff, with a brass section or, a Vegas thing or whatever. But what I do best is hard rock.
Right.
Rock and roll, hard rock.
Right, yeah.
But
I could see where your two personalities would clash after meeting both of you.
Both of their personalities would clash with anyone.
Yeah.
Somebody told me...
Both of them would be difficult, don't you think?
Somebody told me that there was an exchange between you, and I did not hear the show, about where you asked what they do in their off time.
Yes.
And somebody said, well, where is there to go? I stay home or whatever.
Right.
Therein lies the difference entirely.
Right.
There ain't enough time to read enough books. There ain't enough time to see the movies that I've already clipped out of the paper since I've only been here yesterday.
You love life is what you're saying, and those guys are homebodies.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Well, maybe you can strike a balance sometimes as long as you kind of admit that I am foot loose and they're a little more saddled up.
You're interested in the world.
Yeah.
You're a world explorer.
And everything in it.
Right, you always were. You would even go off into the Amazon and climb mountains.
Exactly, and I'm not really great at any of it. But, hey, let's go. All the greatest adventures can be planned out entirely on the back of a beer-soaked napkin.
In fact, knowing you and knowing Eddie, since you were the two main players in that band, I can't believe you guys ever even got an album out. I'll be honest with you. It's a miracle.
How'd they ever do anything?
The new album that we just did took
now tell me about this.
3.5 weeks to record. We even put out the single first, and then waited 3 weeks for our engineer, the great Erwin Musper, who I met when I did the 2 greatest hits for Van Halen.
Did you make this album with your own money, this new album?
Yeah.
You did?
And then we got a record deal with one of the biggest distribution companies in the United States.
Who is that?
It's Touchwood. And it's distributed every single record store that you find, Warner Brothers and Sony and everything, and they are so pissed.
So you're on your own. You're on your own record label.
The Giant Killer, yeah.
Yes.
What was that? WAWAZAT.
What was that record? Is your record label?
That's what we say when half the time we're listening to you is go, what was that?
You put on you made your own album in your own studio.
No, we got a legitimate studio with the Battleship console and Erwin Musper, who's produced and engineered for a variety of people. and made the real deal.
Yeah, it's very good, by the way. I listened to it, and I really enjoyed it.
Well, this kind
and
of
I'm
record,
not just stroking you.
This kind of record has two purposes, Howard. One of them is, for the music, and you can put on the headsets. And the other is, I think we may have made the single greatest 8-track party tape in the world.
Yes. And here you are rocking. Yeah.
This kind of tape is going to wind up on the tail.
What do you wear when you record something like this? Are you nude in the studio?
No, I wear exactly the same stuff.
You do?
Yeah.
I would probably have to be naked.
Overalls, platforms.
Hey, let me tell you gossip I heard about you. Tell me if it's true. This is about your love life. That you were dating, I swear to God, someone called me in with this, all right? You were dating the same woman for 4 years.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? You guys broke up because she ran off with Dennis Rodman?
Oh, no.
Is there any truth to that?
Dear.
No.
Is there any truth to that?
You know what? It's, I knew a gal that Dennis dated at one time.
Right.
I don't know, that they're current or whatever.
Right.
But that was a girlfriend of mine, sure, that I knew for a lot of summers in a row. It was
really?
a great affair, sure.
And that you got into almost a fist fight with Dennis Rodman? You were going to kick his ass?
No. I've run into Dennis a number of times, like at a spy bar down the street or whatever. And
right.
We got a lot in common. We get along great.
You consider him a friend?
Oh, come on. We're both belligerently enthusiastic about what we do. We're unanimously despised by the press and loved by the fans, the people's choice.
So it's wrong when they say that he took your girlfriend away from you?
No, nobody's ever taken a girlfriend away from me.
All right.
So are you?
I am the one with the relationship difficulties.
You are. So you were no longer with the girl for 4 years.
That's correct.
Right. And Dennis Rodman is.
I don't know if he's with her currently.
All right.
I think I saw them. Well, I know I saw them together. Maybe not within the last year, but many times.
All right. So, because I heard you got in a fight over her or something.
Nope, no fist fights.
No fist fights, no yelling.
And of all the guys in professional sports, who would I have most in common with?
Well, that's true. I mean, you guys have a rebellious attitude. Because I can't imagine you even caring if he has this girl, because you probably get sick of a girl after 4 years and you're ready to move on to the next one.
It's till death do us part, or a different time zone. I think I grew up in a day and age, like you did, when guys were encouraged to have no respect for women and women hated guys for it. That makes me a relationship god,
Right. And wouldn't Dennis Rodman stretch her out a bit anyway? Who would want her? Don't you think?
You're stretching. Is that called stretching it?
Right. So, no, I mean, it would be awkward, because I know Rodman is very large. Very large.
He's a huge guy.
Yeah, I don't mean he's tall. I'm talking about his schlong.
I'm sure he's symmetric in every way.
Really? You're on the air. Go ahead.
Hello, Dave?
Hello.
Hi, Dave. My name is Tisha.
Tisha, how are you?
Good, how are you? I just wanted to tell you, I've been in love with you since I've been 9 years old.
How old are you now?
How long ago was that, Tisha?
How old are you now, 28?
Yep.
You're too old.
Oh, come on, Howard.
That's not too old.
You would go out with a 28-year-old?
Oh, man, when I was spending the last season down around Florida, down around Miami area, I knew a gal who was 21, and I knew a gal who was 38. And when I was in the mood for wild, gratuitous, freaky-deaky sex, I went to the 38-year-old. When I wanted philosophy and rumination, I went to the 21-year-old.
Really? Oh, what a life you're having.
I didn't expect it to work out that way.
Really? Oh, man.
Dave, I was so bummed. I went to the record stores Tuesday to buy your new tape, and it wasn't out.
No, it came out on Tuesday afternoon. It'll be like this last Tuesday, Wednesday, sure.
They told me it wasn't going to come out for another week.
Play a little bit more of that, Fred.
No, it's out now.
See, that's the problem. You get when you don't go with the majors, maybe the distribution's weird.
No. Just the same thing with everybody. It's like, how do they get it out of the box on the exact same thing?
I see, okay.
Oh, cool, great. I'm going to go right now and pick it up then.
Send yourself on down. Hey, if they have run out, they'll order it for you. I know that a lot of places have sold out like right now.
What are you going to do? You're going to do a tour?
Ultimately, yeah. We'll make a video. And
Daryl, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Man, Dave, I got to tell you, I've been in love with you since I was like 9 years old.
How old are you?
Another guy.
That was the orphanage tour.
Wow. Seems most people get into Dave when they're like 9.
I'm best understood by animals and small children.
But seriously, Howard, I mean, this guy's like the best interview you've ever had. I mean,
he's always fun, man.
Well, Howard understands something very basic.
I do?
Yeah.
I do.
In that
yes.
The key to a really good story or an interview is not who, what, or where, but why. And very few people want to go there. Very few people ask anybody, why do you do this?
And is that what I do?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
That's the trigger right there.
I'll tell you something. I understand nothing you say. I think that's
but you loves the way I says it.
I just like the way you say it. It's unusual. Sherry, go ahead.
Good morning, Dave.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm excellent. How are you?
Let me guess. Since you were 9, you're a fan.
No. 15.
Since 15.
I'm in love with him, and I've had this poster of him from the Women and Children album, the black one with the chains and the leather.
Yeah, I know that
poster
one.
made it to more ceilings than paint.
Is that the one with your ass cheeks sticking out? God,
no, I think that was another one.
You got a good set of beefy cans, man. I swear to God. You know what else is the...
Behold.
You know which pose I sort of remember most about you is there was one poster, and maybe it was from...
it was in a magazine.
Yeah, you kind of had your head cocked back and your shirt was off. And, like, I don't know. You almost look like you were naked.
That's kind of the standard there. That's
the standard, yeah. Right.
Yeah, see, my favorite one was the one where he was naked.
Yeah, you were naked in one of those.
I think it's the one where I was chained up against a fence. There
you go. That's what it was. I think that's what it was.
I just called to say that you're just the hottest man that has ever been around. And Eddie Van Halen is just so stupid for doing what he's done. And I hope to see you on tour sometime in North Carolina.
Tell me the truth. Did you buy the new Van Halen album to hear what they were doing with the new lead singer?
No, I purposely did not.
You haven't heard it at all?
No, I've heard parts of it.
Where did you hear it? To be so straight with me.
Somebody played the ballad. There's a ballad.
Who is the somebody? Who is the somebody?
One of the engineers brought it in and said, you got to hear this. Edward sings for the first time on a ballad.
Okay.
And I said, well, that's novel. Let's take a listen to that.
Because you've never heard Eddie sing before.
That's correct.
Right.
At least not, he used to sing before I was in the band.
Okay. So then so you never heard him sing before. It probably frustrates him that he can't sing, right? Because he'd probably love to sing some of his own tunes, right?
Probably.
Okay, so when you heard it, the engineer played it, what did you do? Did you laugh?
It reminded me of overdue dentist appointments.
Really? You thought it was that bad?
It sounds like hot water on a sick cat. Come on, you won't expect me to pick up an electrical guitar.
Right.
And don't you go for the high note.
Right. It shocked you.
It did shock me.
Did it make you feel good that it sounded bad?
It made me feel sad because you had a classic team who was every bit as powerful as a political office meets the Oakland Raiders of the late 70s, and to see it kind of start going down the tubes and then see somebody forcing it.
Play a little of this song so people at home can hear it. Go ahead. That's what Dave's talking about.
Because my goat just died.
No, that's the Valerie remix.
Do you actually have the song? Yeah, why don't we bring that song and see if we can find it? You got to find that. We have the Van Halen album somewhere. So wait a second. Let me ask you this. When you were in the band Van Halen, okay? When you were in that band.
How you doing, John?
Would you, if Eddie said to you, I want to sing a song on the next album, would you have just put your foot down and said no?
Absolutely not. No way. And you don't write the lyrics either. That's what I do. That is my contribution.
You would have said to him, listen, this is ridiculous. We can't have an album where you're singing because you're not a singer.
It's the same as me saying I want to play the guitar solo this time.
Right. And they would say, no, you're not a guitar player.
Precisely.
Right.
An entire nation, 3 entire generations would say, wake up, Dave.
And you think the guys were afraid to say, hey, this doesn't sound right?
You mean the people around him?
Yeah.
I think from what I understand, everybody was fired and sent away.
So no one could say to him, hey, this song doesn't sound right.
I didn't see anybody up there. They went through a number of producers, and I understand how long did it take them to make this record? Year and a half or such?
Right. And when you hear this song, you say, wow, there's a problem, because I would have stood up and said, no, we're not putting this out.
Well, we went back and forth. I remember they showed up at the studio with a whole song from this fellow, Desmond Childs, who writes all those ballads.
Right.
Who doesn't even... Aerosmith, and a variety of folks, the Bon Jovis and such.
Right.
And for a classic rock band, a hard rock band like Van Halen, that's poison.
You don't need that. Right. And you would have put your foot down.
That's poison.
It's
like all of a sudden somebody's going to start writing for Led Zeppelin or Jimi Hendrix. No.
Doesn't work that way.
No, it's pivotal on, a certain kind of guitar sound.
You guys had one of the greatest bands ever.
And a certain vocal sound that is like, come on, I make no... distinction here. I ain't no.
Let me hear some of that song. Let me hear. This is the song that David Lee's talking about.
All right. Ever so silent when she wanted to talk.
He can't even listen.
You won't even listen to it.
His headphones off.
Come on, man. What is that? Come on, you're talking to Mr. Motion here, and you want me to sit here and...
Oh, well, let's listen to it. Let's give it a chance. Let's give it a chance.
Titanic?
Let's give it a chance, David.
Come on, this is going down faster than the Man in the Iron Mask did.
Give it a little chance. Let the people absorb it. Maybe they'll like it.
No. Would you rather guess?
Okay, so you laughed when you heard that, and you felt rather sad, actually.
Well, you know, there is a certain point. I mean, we can even go Zen on this, and then even the Zen folks will tell you, you know, if you got your cash, don't deny it.
Chris, you're on the air.
Diamond Dave.
Yes.
You are the king, and if it wasn't for you, no one would know who Eddie Van Halen is.
There you go.
Well, thank you very much. You know, as far as, you know, the Eddie's thing, that's...
Well, Dave's having a good day today, man.
That saddens me. But you know what? Singing and dancing, man, when folks tell me, hey, it meant something to you, that makes my day.
David, you're on the air.
Hey, Howard.
Yes.
I read an interview where Eddie Van Halen said that Dave's appearance on Leno was so terrible that Eddie actually cried because he was so embarrassed for Dave.
Yeah, but when Diamond Dave augers in, I leave a hole in the earth the size of the Tyka crater, baby, and there's people still talking about it years later. I don't just flop. I slam dunk.
Right.
That is rock and roll.
Well, there you go. Anyway, listen, David Lee Roth's album, it's a brand new album. It's called...
Use my hand, I won't look.
You're calling the band the DLR band.
DLR band, you know, we kind of take... If you say David Lee Roth, you think of an individual. If you say DLR, you'll think of the band. Just as like when you say Eddie Van Halen, you think of an individual. And when you say Van Halen, you think of David Lee Roth.
And these are the songs that... Van Halen...
Leave it to Robin to catch that. Look at her behind the glass looking all tropical and expensive.
These are the songs that Van Halen could have had they brought you back into the group.
I have not changed my gears whatsoever.
Right.
You know,
you're very focused.
I haven't changed my attitude. I haven't changed. My voice has not changed. It still goes a little flat when you reach for the high killer chorus.
F them all, man. You've always said it, and you always will. What is it?
Have you ever talked to David Lee about the Van Halen tribute bands?
Oh, there's some great ones. Atomic Punk in L.A. is killer.
Yeah,
and the people sell out, and you know what? You start seeing people having tailgate parties in front of a beer bar 6 hours in advance of a 5-hour show.
But they do. They try to go flat where you go flat. It's really hysterical.
Yeah, it's weird. That's hard to do. You know, technical singing.
It's something you develop.
You know,
yeah, right.
But getting that thing where it's just a little. It's like trying to tear holes in your blue jeans on purpose. You can always tell when somebody did that.
Yeah.
It's just got to be there.
Hey, there's a guy on the phone. Hey, Mike, you say David Lee met Elvis when he was a kid. Is that true?
Yeah.
Did you meet Elvis?
No. I think what happened, a rumor got started, is I named my weenie Little Elvis.
Oh, is that it? Why Little Elvis?
There's a chorus on the album that goes, Little Elvis is combat ready.
Oh, I see.
I personally never knew Elvis, although I started karate when I was on my 12th birthday in the dojo where Elvis learned.
Do you still, really? Because I never thought Elvis learned karate, quite frankly.
He never did, but he did go to the dojo, Judge.
You're actually good at karate. I mean, what is the style that you practice?
Now I'm doing a kind of style. I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Right. Was that Gracie Jiu-Jitsu?
Yep. And I do Pecuar, which is a kind of kung fu, which is where all the jump spinning kicks and, you know, aerial stuff comes from. And I do it every other day, regularly. You know.
Have you ever done any fighting, you know, in a dojo where you actually fight another man hand to hand?
The Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is reality stuff. You know, it's got nothing to do with, you know, the poetry and motion.
All that crap.
You
want to kick ass.
Yeah, well, a skinny guy like me has no chance against these, you know, buffed guys who are coming.
No, you're in pretty good shape.
To the gym.
So you go every day. You go to a studio and you practice the art of jiu-jitsu.
Either that or somebody comes over to the house, you know. And I've got my places, you know, here in New York and in Miami and Los Angeles, which is kind of where I.
And you got a mat, and you go on the mat. And what do you wear when you do this? You wear the white outfit with the black belt and everything.
I do not have a black belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
You do not. But do you have a black belt in other forms of karate?
Stars, not the bars.
You must have. Look, you are so happy. Listen to me. I tell you, I got to take.
Hey, I'm the comeback kid. What do you want?
I got to take whatever you're on, man. I swear to God, I got to get on it. I mean, I've never seen a happier human being than you. I swear, it's inspirational. I swear to God.
Thanks.
So is he saying he's never done therapy or anything? He's just maintained.
No, you don't need no therapy.
No, they dragged me through therapy until I was old enough to tell them I quit. 1-800-SEE ya.
Yeah, you did quit. You quit therapy.
Yeah.
How many times a week did you go to therapy?
About as many times as I now do jiu-jitsu.
Really? Every day? And you'd be on the couch? Would you lay on a couch and actually talk to the therapist?
You know, I always look forward to that, where the guy holds the little notepad with the Freudian beard. And, you know,
right. This was Freudian psychotherapy.
No, this was back in the 60s and, you know, early 90s.
They tried to help
70s.
you. They thought you were crazy.
They totally thought I was crazy, but, the difference between insanity and, genius is usually measured in how successful your last record was in this business.
Right. You know what? It's time your therapist and Eddie's vocal coach got together and just sort of partied with one another. You were in therapy at 5 years old, weren't you?
Yeah, maybe even earlier than that.
So your parents recognized that.
It's like you escape from the institution.
I was what you called a conniption.
So you were at 5 or 6, your parents felt you needed to see a shrink.
Even before that.
What was wrong with you? Seriously, what was the behavior that they objected to?
Oh, I was always just looking for attention. No, Dave, no.
Right.
No kidding.
And
I started singing and dancing when I was 6 years old, and I told everybody exactly what I was going to do and be at 6 years old.
And it threatened people around you, didn't it?
Oh, man, somewhere between being one of the Beatles or being a pirate or a Hell's Angel.
I told my father when I was 5 years old that one day I'd be on the radio, I'd broadcast to the world, and that I would be the most famous broadcaster that ever hit radio. And he yelled at me for a full day.
Shut up!
And he yelled at me for a full day.
But you knew exactly what you were going to do.
I knew it. He didn't believe it. And he said, you know what? He said, you can't even talk. What do you mean you're going to be famous?
Isn't it curious that for something that's so left of center, I mean, as opposed to being a doctor, lawyer, or Indian chief, you say, Mom, Dad, I'm going to be in showbiz. Whether it's, working the microphone or playing the drums.
Well, I'm pretty sure my parents figured anything that came from them couldn't be in show business.
My parents used to tell me they were going to sell me back to the Indians and use the money for a big party.
Were you ever on Ritalin? No.
No, but I was always more interested in being Cherokee than Jewish.
Brian, you're on the air. Go ahead. Quickly.
Hey,
Brian.
Howard.
Yeah, go ahead,
You were
bro.
acting pretty queer there before when you were adoring Dave's posters. I don't know.
Yeah, I might be gay. I might be gay for Dave.
I don't know, man. I mean, I always looked at Dave and said, Dave, he's got the big I'm sorry.
You're half a fag.
See, well,
who cares what you want?
See, that's the opposite,
Hey, I'm secure with my sexuality, I think. Deborah, you're on the air.
Hey, Howard.
Yeah.
Hey, you can tell Dave if it makes him feel any better that Van Halen played for a half-empty crowd at Madison Square Garden.
You know what, Don? That you call up makes me feel great. That Van Halen sold half empty doesn't make me feel anything but a little sense of loss there.
No, it makes you feel good, and I don't believe that statement for a second.
Also, they're all welcome to line up and kiss my ass one by one or all together. But at the same time, to have the super crew of all team, the most glorious, barbecue band of all time,
right?
Selling half-ass, that don't taste right, chef.
Let me ask you one more question about jiu-jitsu. Seriously, do you have a black belt in any form of karate?
No.
You do not?
No.
Do you have any belt?
No.
Oh, okay.
You do not have a belt?
No.
You have fought hand-to-hand, though, at the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu?
No, when you're talking about fighting hand-to-hand, you're not, launching onto each other.
Have you ever gone to a tournament? Have you ever gone to a tournament and fought?
I've been to many tournaments when I was younger, yeah.
And did you fight?
That was point fighting. Instead of, what they're doing now is, a lot closer to, wrestling until somebody
I've seen your moves on stage. I mean, you can get up there. You're a good athlete. I mean, you get up on stage, you can kick, you can really do the moves.
I can jump a tall condo with a single bound.
Don't tell me you're not capable of holding a black belt in karate.
If I don't maintain my belts in a single style for a long period of time, then I'm not going to claim to own one.
So you do own one. Okay, that's what I wanted to know. All right. I wanted a straight answer out of you, and I think I got one. Finally. The great David Lee Roth. No one is a bigger fan of David Lee Roth than I am.
Thanks,
and it's great to see that you have new music out. David Lee Roth, the new CD, the DLR Band on Wawazat Records.
What was that?
Whatever.
What was that?
What was that record?
Theater, drive-in, or armory near you now. Go on down and get it.
Hey, thanks, David.
Thanks, Howard.
When we come back, Paul Rodriguez is going to stop by. Ivan Reitman's going to stop by. It's like a regular Merv Griffin show going on out there. Just a little bit of the DLR Band.
I really like your new apartment.
Well, you should just come in here and take a nap. Lay down and relax.
Why? What do you plan on giving me?
A nice massage.
Okay. What side of the bed you want me on?
Take this side if you want. Is the door locked?
Yes, it's locked. I always wanted to make love to you.
Did you really? You must have.
Hey, did somebody open up a can of tuna fish? What's that smell?
I'm not sure. I could take a shower.
That's a good idea. I'll jump in the shower with you.
Do you want me to rub your back a little bit?
Yeah, rub my lower back.
You wanted to be with me when you first met me?
Yeah, I've had a crush on you for the longest time. I dropped the soap. Can you pick it up for me, Robin?
Oh, God, that's so good.
Can I try it in your third?
Yes. Oh, my, you're so big. I knew that you would be. I just knew you would be.
You like the way I do that?
It's so incredible. So incredible. Yes. Oh, you do that so good. I can't believe that you're doing this to me. I can make you feel nice, too.
Okay, get down on your knees for me. I want to do you style. Turn around.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, yes. You're so wonderful. I love you so much.
So tell me that.
Yes.
Heineken. Wow, big Heineken weekend. Jackie already knows that it's going to rain, so Jackie's going to sit at home and
drink my troubles away.
Right. What are you going to do? You said you're going to drink and plant flowers?
Plant flowers in the rain and then work on the website and have a cooler inside and a cooler outside. Maybe a few friends.
A couple of beers, a couple of Heinekens.
Yep.
All right, that's a Heineken weekend.
Perfect
Good for you.
Weekend.
You know, Heineken is such a good beer, and the reason it is a true beer, they call it a true beer because it hasn't changed. It's the original recipe for over 100 years. And you know, the same Heineken that Jackie drinks today is the Heineken his great-grandfather drank 300 years ago. Wow. In Guam. Anyway.
You enjoy it. It was a French Huguenot. He was planting flowers and drinking Heineken.
That's right. Some things never change.
By the windmills. Shut up.
And 1,000 years from now, the Martling clan will be drinking Heineken.
From Uranus. Just as much.
Heineken, brewed true since 1886.
Makes a perfect time.
It's truth.
Huh? Slime? No, when I said slime, I was referring to Howard Stern. Slime. All right? He makes Beavis and Butthead sound intelligible. Fartman, it's a very sad state of affairs when a movie like Fartman can actually get funded. That tells you where it's at. I actually respect Heidi Fleiss more than I do this man. You know, at least when she somebody, she kissed them.
That's the great Paul Rodriguez slamming me.
He'll be in today.
He's here today, man. He's here right now.
Oh, okay.
The funny thing about that interview is, that morning I was on the air talking about how great I thought Paul Rodriguez was as a comedian, and then he heard about it. He went, "Oh man,
I screwed up."
Yeah, we worked it all out.
Because he always liked us, I guess, and something happened. I guess we turned him down for an appearance or something.
Or something weird happened.
Yeah, and then he decided to just
slam me.
Ambassador.
I don't disagree with anything he said. It's a pretty sad state of affairs when Fartman can get funded.
I didn't.
And I am a slime ball. There's no question the guy's right about it. Hey, Paul Rodriguez is going to be performing at Comic Relief today. You know, but you see, we're friendly with Paul now, and we made up with Chevy Chase just about 3 weeks ago.
But we, I guess, don't tell the intern.
No, because Casey...
went off the page.
Casey ran into Chevy Chase last night.
Just by accident.
We sent Casey over to interview Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford wasn't there, and by accident on the street he runs into Chevy Chase.
And off script.
Off script, this is what happened.
How you doing, man? CBS Radio, how you doing today?
What?
CBS Radio, how you doing today?
All right. What are you guys doing here?
Just hanging out. Come to see... Hey, listen, can I ask you a couple questions?
I'm in a hurry. Why?
I'll walk with you.
What's it about?
Because of Phil Hartman's death, are you throwing away your guns or at least hiding them from your wife?
Do you think that's funny?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's kind of nutty.
You really think that's funny?
Yeah.
You think that the idea that Phil's dead and his wife shot him and then herself is funny?
No, not that he's dead, no.
You think anything about it is funny?
Yeah.
I don't.
You don't think anything's funny?
I don't think that's funny, no.
I saw some of your movies. That wasn't very funny. Chevy, how about this feud with Howard Stern? How's that going?
Oh.
Come on, Chev. I love you, brother.
Jack off. You knew we made up with Chevy Chase. Why are you busting his balls?
Howard, I'm sorry, but it's funny. Do you know what the funniest thing about this interview was?
What?
Hey!
He doesn't even care.
Somebody hit him.
I can't help it. He's got a tight butt.
All right, anyway, here's a guy who we made up
Whatever
with.
he does is okay.
Paul Rodriguez is here. Bring him in, for crying out loud. I'm sitting around waiting. Let me see what... That is a funny guy. There's Paul Rodriguez. It's so funny, this show. Like, we're sitting here doing a show, and then people have to walk in the room.
I know. There's a long walk, too.
And it's not like the Magic Johnson show, where at least people are applauding and stuff, so they're busy filling the room with noise.
No, yeah, and I just want to say that I hope your show goes on forever.
Forever. Have you watched that show yet, the Magic Johnson show?
Are you kidding me? I got fired from that show.
What do you mean?
Well, originally, Fox had talked to me, and they said, Magic was looking for a sidekick.
Great.
You were going to be Magic's sidekick?
Hello, you know.
Like, maybe you've done a few things in the business.
Right. Well, actually, I had written a treatment where I was talking to them about a half-hour late-night show following that.
Right.
So they said, well, would you like to meet Magic and Lon, right?
Right.
And I said, sure, you know. So I had the whole idea. I had talked to Sheila E. about being the band and everything.
Right.
They liked that idea. I had written a show called The Inner City.
Really?
So they talked to me about it, and I had a couple of meetings with the Magic.
So you sat down. Did they try to see if there was chemistry between you?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And there can't be any chemistry because the guy can't speak English.
Yeah, we didn't hit it off too well. I said, you know, Magic, you're a nice guy, you know, but I don't think comedy's your strength. And
you did say that to him. You were honest.
Yeah, well, I'm saying it right now.
Right,
see?
right.
I was on there, and I said, look, I think you're a nice dude, you know.
Right. Yeah.
You're about as good on talk show as I would be in the NBA, you know?
Right. Like they wouldn't ask you to play basketball.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I'm not out there, you know, seeing if the Lakers need a towel boy or something, you know?
I mean,
get off my court.
Although you had to feel good after you did the show with him. You must have felt like you sounded like Orson Welles compared to him.
You know, first of all, it's like they saw me, and I met with Lon and them. Went to
Now, who is Lon?
Lon Rosen is...
is he a basketball player?
No, Lon is his man, you know. Lon is...
Is he producing this show?
Yeah, he's the Wizard of Oz.
Does Lon want to hang himself, or... I mean, whose idea... I'm fascinated. Because we've been playing the tapes of the Magic Johnson show. I can't believe this thing's on the air, and I can't believe it'll last. I mean, I've never seen anything like it.
Right.
You know, you have to wonder if the first show that was on the air is the first show they ever did.
They did it several times. I'll tell you, they shot several pilots.
So you were the sidekick on some of these pilots.
I got fired before we went to pilot. You know, I basically.
Well, I guess when you walk in and you tell the host he sucks, you can't. You don't get the job.
It's not a good thing.
But don't you think that would have been a good show if you came out every night and said, you know what, Magic, you suck. This is really bad.
I'm afraid I would have probably said that. You know, I would have tried to find the words. You know. But there's just no way to find other words, and I'm pretty straight up person, you know.
Right. So when Lon said to you, "We need a sidekick,"
what do you think? It could happen here? And I said,
anything.
I think you'll be on for a couple of months. And, I think people one day will be going, didn't he have a talk show?
Yeah, I mean, don't it's really weird.
I'm not wishing him evil.
No, because everyone feels bad. The guy got AIDS. He got some problems there. He's a guy who worked his way up out of the ghetto. The whole thing. We're all happy for him. But when a guy can't have
strengths, you know, I mean, look.
Right.
Michael Jordan is an amazing basketball player, but he sucked at baseball.
Right, exactly.
You got to just realize what your strengths are. And
well, I read in the paper that Magic says things are getting better because now he has a speech coach and an interview coach.
Now, did you see those people?
Did you meet those guys?
I walked into a room, right? I walked into a room with he was surrounded by first of all, one of my comments was that he was surrounded by really old white guy writers. These guys used to write for Bob Hope, you know?
Right. Well, Bob Hope isn't working anymore. They need work.
They're all in there, and came around the table. They asked me for my opinion. And I said, well, the first thing I'd do is I'd fire these guys because, you know,
But
they
let me
don't
ask you
all have
this.
to go. Some of them can make coffee. But, you know, as far as writing comedy for the inner city, I said...
For today, yeah.
For today. But let me ask you, Bob Hope is now a mumble mouth, and Magic Johnson's a mumble mouth. Maybe they felt that...
Hey, you know what? Maybe I stumbled into...
a mumble mouth thing.
There you go.
So, you know, being a successful comedian in Hollywood, and all of a sudden, you must have very weird stories because you get called in on these meetings all the time. You probably can't believe half the projects you get called in on.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of like the bridesmaid, you know. For a while, I guess, you know, what they were thinking about was saying, well, if we get Rodriguez here, we might attract the Latino viewers, right?
Maybe they were thinking that, or maybe they were thinking like, hey, if we got a funny guy on who can talk.
Well, they had another guy. You know Barry Sobel, right?
Yeah.
They shot a pilot with Barry Sobel.
How'd that go?
He's not on the air, is he?
No.
He got cast. I think they auditioned about 5. I know they auditioned at least 3 other guys.
Well, it's a tough job because I watch the show. I'm a big fan of the show because I can't believe how bad it is. It's like a train wreck. But when the comedian comes out, literally, he comes out and does the monologue.
Right.
And Magic just sits there and goes, ooh, you bad. You bad.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh, you bad.
This show gonna go on forever.
Yeah. So it's got to be somewhat... You're probably happy you didn't take that gig. Am I right?
No, not really. I would have loved to have got it. You know, I figured, hey, it's a paycheck for 2 months. The money's good.
Yeah.
I'm there.
What can a guy make being a sidekick to Magic Johnson? There's got to be a lot of money in it.
It's pretty good, man.
Really?
Fox, you know, Murdoch's got some coin, and Fox laid him a nice chunk of change.
What is your prediction on the chunk of change that a guy would make doing a sidekick job? I can't imagine.
I heard 5-6 mil. Yeah.
5-6 mil
for the sidekick?
For the whole. No.
No. I mean, for the sidekick, you better get that job.
What are you talking about?
Pesos.
You'll do it for anything, any denomination. No, I mean, like, what could a sidekick get for something like that? Are you talking about big bucks?
Well, no, not big bucks, but I would imagine you'll make you know, anywhere from 10 to 15, you know.
And then it's good exposure because
it's good exposure, you know, like they got Schumacher on there right now.
Right.
Now Schumacher won Comedian of the Year. He's a funny guy. But
he won Comedian of the Year?
Really?
Yeah.
I think he's wrecking his image. You didn't vote.
No, you know, I mean...
I didn't get a ballot.
Right.
The guy does a good Barney Fife, and after that, you know...
It's a little difficult.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Paul, isn't his name Craig Schumacher? He calls him Craig Shoemaker every night.
Well, sometimes he says it's related to that horse jockey, you know...
Are you saying Magic doesn't say the name properly?
I've been meaning to say that, but I don't know the guy that... Well, I just remember it being Craig Schumacher, and I'm thinking that at some point he's going to say, Magic, get my goddamn name right.
Maybe he's hoping nobody will know it's him.
Nothing magic about it. So
I'm on there, you know.
So you never got. So it was a weird meeting, and when you sat there with Magic, you said there's no magic between us.
I got $7,500 to meet with him twice. I think
that's not bad.
That's not bad.
It's, you know, it's good change.
You're not kidding. Listen, you're living well, and you're meeting with people.
There you go.
And they pay you.
I'm meeting important people, and I'm going nowhere.
Were you a friend of Phil Hartman since he's on the news?
Well, I wasn't a friend, but I knew him.
You did know him. I knew him, yeah.
Yeah, I knew him probably slightly less than you did. You know, a couple of times around L.A., I got a kind of like a weird story. It must have been about 2 or 3 months ago. There's a Jerry's Deli in Los Angeles, Valley.
That's where you hang?
Not really, but you can't eat Mexican food every day. You know?
Right. You like to vary your diet.
You got to go in there and get some flunking.
Right.
You know, get some good flunking.
You're open to all kind of food.
There you go. You know, I'm an international guy.
Right.
So I'm there, you know, having dinner. Must have been about 7:30, 8 o'clock, you know, and in the next table is Phil, his wife, and another couple. I don't recognize them, you know.
Wife was a former model, attractive woman. Your eye probably looked over, right?
Yeah, when she would walk by to go to the ladies' room, you know, definitely she was good looking.
Yeah, and they're saying that someone said she was a hooker.
At one time.
At one time, she was a hooker.
There was a rumor that Phil got her out of the hooker life.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah, I could.
You could imagine that. That doesn't surprise you.
Until I saw Phil, I was hoping to, you know, offer something, you know.
You were going to offer a couple of bucks.
I was sizing her up.
No, but isn't it dangerous to marry a hooker in your line of work? I mean, you're a high-profile guy. You don't have time for nonsense.
Not again. No, I'm not going to marry a hooker.
No, you would never get married.
Anyways, so they're there, right? And, you know, I forgot all about it. There's other people there, and the restaurant's packed, and nobody's really bothering nobody, right?
Right.
Out of all of a sudden, I hear you bastard, you son of a bitch. And she throws, I don't know, a Coke or some water.
This is Mrs. Hartman, Bryn.
Right,
yeah.
right. There's a commotion, right? And we all turn around.
And you're like, thank God we came here for dinner. This is fun.
They didn't know there was entertainment.
Yeah.
I had no idea. And then next thing you know, it's like he was, you could tell he was embarrassed. You know, I don't know if a girl's ever done that to you. You're really embarrassed. But, you know, there's people looking at you, plus you have a public persona, right?
Right.
So he's wiping it off. He goes, well, I guess, you know, in his voice, the one he does on The Simpsons. Well, I guess it's not a very happy evening, is it, honey? You know, and you can tell the guy's really embarrassed. And there's a whole bunch of us going, oh, man, slap the bitch.
Oh, man, just give it to her.
Yeah, you know, backhand her. Not that I'm for violence.
Don't say it to me. Say it to everybody.
In that situation, it might be necessary.
There are moments in life.
Right, you could understand why they would do it.
She started it, didn't she?
She started. She threw something, and he was all embarrassed.
He's a big star, after all. He goes out with his woman, and she's emasculating him. She's throwing things on him.
Exactly.
Right.
You know, people are watching. You know, there's like tourists from Des Moines there who are going, you know, Phil Hartman, and all of a sudden, you know, this happens, and the friends were embarrassed. And
when it happens, though, as a comic, you must relish the moment. I mean, you must love this. This is a great story, no?
It's a sad story.
Yeah.
You know, Phil's not one of these guys you wished any evil.
No, that's true. I wish evil on almost everyone, and Phil was one of those guys you didn't wish it. You were very happy that he was successful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Here's a guy that basically you know, he wanted, you know, he loved his kids. He wanted to live a normal life in Encino in the Valley.
Right. You never know who you're hooking. You're a guy, you date a lot. I mean, you meet a lot of women.
He's out there on the wild side.
You could meet a woman like this. You don't know. You go to bed, you end up with your head blown off.
I'm telling you, though, for however many years he was with her, she was
a cokehead.
Where was he going?
Where were you going?
What?
She was what?
She was fine.
It was worth it because she was good looking?
She was good looking. You know?
Right. So maybe he had a couple of good years.
Superficial, like most men are. You gotta think of the good moments and go, you know, Mama had back.
Yes, she was good looking.
She was good looking.
A lot better looking than Phil deserved, you know, based on looks.
You know what? Phil basically came to the conclusion that, you know, I'm doing okay. You know?
Right, yeah. He had a good life.
Yeah. You know, somebody said you go out with the people you can, you know, you go out with girls you can afford.
Right. I'll tell you the truth. I would rather spend just 50 years of my life and die with a woman like that than spend 100 years on the planet with a woman you don't like, right?
Well, that's old Merman.
Maybe you don't like her. She just looked good.
Yeah, well, who cares?
She's throwing things at
Phil Hartman, believe me, well, I bet you when Phil Hartman got things thrown at him, he was like, oh, my God, I can't believe someone this good looking is fighting over me.
Yeah.
They say that Phil was mean, though. They say that he used to yell at her and say, why can't you be more beautiful? And he would get her plastic surgery. Do you believe that?
That's horse.
You can't believe that.
No, because if anybody's going to yell at a moment like that, right? I mean, somebody throws something at you, you know, you're embarrassed and everything. You don't gauge what you say right away. It's whatever comes out. And the guy went right into comedy. He goes, well, I guess it's not a happy evening. He's cleaning himself and we're
as a fellow celebrity,
and
though.
The audience is trying to, you know, not the audience.
It's like an audience.
We're all trying to laugh, you know. We're all trying to go, oh, yeah, Phil, you know, domestic bliss. You know,
but I mean, as a fellow celebrity, you probably step in and you say, Phil, listen,
Phil,
don't worry.
I'll take her off your hands.
I'll bang her.
You know, Phil, I'm packing myself right now. You know?
Phil, I don't think you could handle her.
Yeah, I think, it was sad. And,
well, you know, public...
She was upset, right? She was ranting and she was... She stormed out screaming. And,
really?
And the other girl that was with the other couple, she turns to Phil. She goes, it's okay, Phil. I'll get her.
Great. That's what you want.
Yeah, that's what you want. You know, you need the straight. You know, when I heard the morning,
you need a sidekick for your wife who's going to go stepping in for you.
But you know, Paul has the story that everybody wants. You know, nobody saw them apparently.
Right.
In this state. Everybody had the idea that they were this happy couple.
Right.
Well, the reason I guess the people that were really close to them really knew don't want to betray their friendship.
Right. Well, but you can respect that.
I didn't have a friendship, you know, and I'm not really betraying. I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only one there. I mean, the restaurant was packed.
Right. A lot of people saw.
A lot of people saw it, you know.
It's amazing it didn't end up in the Inquirer.
And how long ago was this?
About 3 months.
Oh, really? That recently? I tell you, vagina get in trouble every time. It hypnotizes men into stupidity.
It does.
It really does. Like Fred. Like, you see Fred over there, that guy who works for me?
Yes.
Fred is a great guy. Went and got
Who's
married.
the one who had marshmallows eaten out of it?
That's Jack.
That's the other idiot.
But Fred, that's the other idiot. But Fred, he went. Fred on his.
What's talk about sidekicks? You know, hey, you know, Howard. That's borders on sexual abuse. Fred, thank you. You come into work and Howard goes.
Thank you, Paul. You agreed to do that.
You loved it. He likes Fred, for example. He's married a couple of years now. Married. He met his wife on Dial-A-Date here right on the show.
No, really?
Yeah. And he goes to the Rainbow Room with his wife, and they get into an argument.
Now, mind you, they're celebrating Jackie and Nancy's 10th anniversary.
Yeah, he's there, and
their marriage is no
Fred
better
got
than mine.
so mad. What did you do? You overturned the table at the Rainbow Room. Right?
Things got a little heated.
Yeah.
But see, that happens, right?
Sure.
That happens.
But the difference
people have
is,
passion, people yell at each other.
everyone who saw that happen called in on the show the next day.
See, nobody told about Phil Hartman until after his death.
Maybe that was a good thing. Maybe I'll stay alive now.
Who knows? Who knows?
All I could say is it was really tragic, and
it is sad. It is sad.
It is sad because he obviously knew what he was getting into.
Of course.
He knew. I think she was open with her. I don't know, but
open with what?
Her past to him.
Yeah.
I think he knew. There's no way you can go to these parties and not hear people going, "Hey, wasn't she?"
Well, yeah, like when Phil got the food spilled on me, he just stood up and just said, "You know what?
She'll snort this off of me later."
Yeah, my wife's a crackhead whore.
But I love her.
I love her. She's keeping me alive,
You'll
baby.
have to forgive her. She's a crackhead whore.
Darren, you're on with Paul Rodriguez. Now, by the way, the great Paul Rodriguez will be performing at Comic Relief 8.
Among some of your favorites, sir.
I know, we got to talk about that. That's this Sunday night on HBO at 8 p.m.
Wasn't it Comic Relief that he made those last statements?
Yeah, man, you got to play that to death. I thought we buried the hatchet.
It's a big deal. So, I think it's funny. I remember, though, the last Comic Relief, you might have been the only funny guy. And that's what I was saying. That was the funny thing. I was on that morning going, man, the only funny guy there was Paul Rodriguez.
I know.
Yeah, and then you slammed me.
There I go. But, we patched up. It happens. I'm more or less, I'm in the Chevy Chase category of fans now.
That's it.
I'm a born-again Sternite.
We came back together.
There it is.
Darren, you're on with Paul Rodriguez.
Hey, Paul, what's going on?
What's up, Darren?
Hey, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Does it kind of bother you that you spent, all these years building up your career and doing pilots, and, overnight, the Taco Bell dog, went huge and made all this money?
Well, there's an ethnic question. What about this Taco Bell dog? They say that some people are upset about...
Do you find it offensive?
You do not find it offensive?
It's funny. What's funny is funny. First of all, I don't see the Chihuahua. I don't see him as a Mexican dog.
Right.
He's just to me, he's like a New York rat.
He's a dog.
He's a dog.
So, all right, because you never know,
No, but I don't have any problems. The only thing I would say is, it's a shame that the best-known Latino in America is a Chihuahua.
That's it.
I'm just pissed off that the dog's working more than I am.
You would like to make more money than the dog.
I like...
Yeah, the dog is large.
Yeah, right.
The dog...
You've even eaten Chihuahua. Now he's a star. It's ridiculous.
The dog has basically got a better agent, and he's got a book deal, and, I don't.
That's right. It's very upsetting. But
I'm jealous of a dog.
But Comic Relief 8, that's with Billy Crystal.
Right.
Whoopi Goldberg. And Robin Williams.
Robin, yeah.
Now, they select you to be on the show? Is that how this all works? In other words,
I don't think the three have anything to do in the selection.
Who does?
The selection is the people at HBO, and they have a committee.
Oh, I see. Because Sam Kinison was always screaming when he used to do the show.
I talked to Sam about that on Comic Relief 2, as a matter of fact, and he was upset that he wasn't on, and I've told Bob Smoot and several people on there. I don't know why they didn't have him on, I certainly thought that...
It used to drive Kinison nuts. He thought Whoopi Goldberg was holding him back from being on Comic Relief.
Because she was a friend of Bob Goldthwait.
Yeah, and it made him nuts.
I don't think so, but I also do believe there's a lot of politics on there because, for example, just about all the people on the board are somebody's managers.
Right.
And, if one of your managers is on the board, chances are you'll get on. Me, I'm their token Latino guy,
Right. You think that's it? I just think you're there because you're funny. You have this feeling that you're there as the token Latino guy.
Yeah, I'm there, and it's pretty good. You get a chance to go out there and try some stuff like...
I'll lay it on the line for you. This is the funniest goddamn guy. Out of all these guys, everyone's screaming Robin Williams is funny. I personally don't find Robin Williams funny. I don't know. I mean, I know everyone's got to kiss his ass. Billy Crystal, I thought was a very funny stand-up comic at one time. Now I don't know what he's doing. He's doing a bunch of movies that I don't know what he's doing. Doing the Oscars. They should throw him right off the Oscars. I think Seinfeld's going to be doing the Oscars now.
Yeah, that'd be a good thing.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
I ran into Seinfeld in the Village.
That's what you need. That's what you're looking for, right? A Seinfeld kind of sitcom, not some kind of thing that will propel you to the next level or something.
Right now, I'm thinking of calling Magic and go, listen, did you hear my interview on the street? Did you hear my witty, incisive comments? Listen, I was just kissing up to Howard, and I was wondering if I can come in and do some pieces.
Yeah, right. Let me just walk.
And I hope your show goes on forever.
Have you seen the show?
Yes, I have.
Now, what do you think of what's going on there?
I think he's a great basketball player.
Enough said. Paul Rodriguez will be performing at Comic Relief 8 this Sunday night on HBO at 8 p.m. It's always good seeing you, man. Thanks for coming in.
Do you feel bad for that comedian?
No, man.
He's making money.
The comedian's making money. It's his job. And when the show goes by the way of the other shows, nobody's going to go, man, that Schumacher really held up.
Hey, they're not going to blame him.
You know, that guy was like a millstone around Magic Johnson. If Magic didn't have that white boy next to him, that show could have probably gone on, but no.
He held him back.
He held him back.
Hey, Paul, thanks for coming in, man.
I'm on Letterman tonight for anybody who cares.
Oh, is that right? Letterman tonight. Now, what are you going to do? You going to do stand-up or are you going to sit down?
No, well, actually, I did stand up.
Right.
You know, they pre-tape it. I guess everybody knows it.
Right.
We shot it yesterday.
Yes.
And there wasn't enough time, but he was very cool, man. I understand he doesn't usually talk to people after the show, but he was cool, man.
He gave you an audience after the show.
He came up to me and he goes, "Hey, Paul, nice to have you on the show,
Oh, no kidding. He gave you the...
He was cool, man. He was nice,
Did he have you back in his dressing room, or this was just like off to the side?
No, it was on the side before you come on, I haven't, in 19 years, I hadn't done the show, right? And I've been bumped a couple of times.
Really?
Yeah.
You're kidding me.
So I thought there was I've never had anything negative to say about the guy,
Right.
So when he invited me, he said, well, I hope there was some misunderstanding. Come on the show. I said, hey, thanks, Dave. Let me go on out there and do it. Now the only thing is, originally I had this material that I was doing about this routine that I'll do on Comic Relief about white kids in the suburbs with automatic weapons.
Now, what do you think is going on with all this? I mean, all these white kids are shooting up their classmates. They're shooting up their high schools, their parents.
That is what I talk about. I have no idea, and the thing that's dangerous about white kids is that they're good shots. They wear camouflage. You have no idea where the bullets are coming from.
Right.
But it was cool. They wouldn't let me do that material, so...
They wouldn't? What are you kidding me?
Yeah, well, I got a call, and they said, no, we don't really think you should do that kind of material, so change it around. So
now, aren't you shocked by that? I mean, what is the big deal about saying that white kids are good shots?
I don't know. I think...
See, I got in trouble there, too. When O.J. first killed his wife...
Right.
I came on that night. It was the day that O.J. the whole news broke, and I was wearing a big, and Time Magazine had blackened O.J.'s face.
Right.
So I wore a big T-shirt with O.J.'s picture on it, and I came over to Magic Mark. I said, O.J.'s not dark enough, and I started to paint in O.J.'s face. Well, I mean, all hell broke loose, and Dave starts chastising me on the air. This is not funny material to talk about O.J.
I don't think there's anything funny about double murder.
Nothing funny about double murder. The week later, the guy's doing O.J. jokes. Yeah. So I said, he did apologize to me. He said, you were right. I was in more trouble than O.J.
Well, Howard, all I can say is, you are the O.J. of comedy.
I am. I murder everything I come in contact with.
Thank you. Slasher king.
You never gave me that kind of compliment before. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, but, you know that he's on with Charles Grodin tonight.
Yeah, you kidding me? Yeah. Well, his show was canceled. It's hard to believe.
I was also on Charlie's show before.
Were you?
Yeah, check this out.
Yeah.
Charlie did a live remote with me. He had me go back to my high school in Compton, California, right?
Right.
So all the cheerleaders in Compton, obviously, are black.
Right.
The cheerleaders.
Right.
There's a lot of Hispanics in the high school I went to. That's about 50-50, right? But the Hispanics are basically playing soccer, goal, that sort of thing.
Big game there, yeah.
So I do this live interview, and I walk up to this real pretty black girl.
Yes.
Right? And I'm with Charlie, interviewing him through the TV. And I go, Charlie, you'll never guess what this young woman's name is, because she had an unusual name. And he starts guessing, Shaquanda, Lucretia, Tanisha. It goes on. I go, no, her name is Israel. Her name was, I think that was her name, yeah. She had like a Jewish sounding name,
right.
Israel something. She was Ethiopian Jewish.
Right.
And he just, he wouldn't let it go. It's just a throwaway thing. And he kept going on. Now, how is it that you're obviously black? You're obviously black. And
see, that's another show like the Magic Johnson show. I would like to see him stay on the air because it gave me good laughs.
Charlie Grodin actually, in my opinion, really did have a nice, dry sense of humor.
I'm glad somebody appreciated it.
Putting you on, or if he was, this was on purpose.
So you will miss that show.
I will miss that show.
I'm happy the show's gone, actually, but I'm glad someone's going to miss it.
Any show that will have me on,
you're going to miss.
I hope I don't miss you, man.
Hey, I've insulted you. I did not ask you. Look at Rosie O'Donnell's head. It's filled with jelly beans. How many jelly beans do you think are in there? If you guess, I'll give some money to your favorite charity.
All right. How many beans? Now, that's a big...
That's a big head.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever seen a white woman with that big a head?
No. No, really. No, I think you're right. I would say 16... no, let me see. 9, yeah, how big are... All right, I'll say about 657.
657 is way low.
You're incorrect.
You are incorrect.
All right, so...
Moby Dick's head is smaller, and his head holds a couple of thousand jelly beans. And guess who's here? Ivan Reitman's here. I got to get there.
Man, that guy's a great director.
Great director. He's got a new movie coming out with Harrison Ford and Anne Heche.
Right. 6 days, 7 nights.
And
Schwimmer's in that, isn't he?
David Schwimmer is in that, and I know he's anxious to promote it as well. And it's always great having you on here, man.
Yeah, man, and I'll just say it's probably a very good movie, but as far as ethnic peoples are concerned, it's Gilligan's Island.
Well, no, there's a Latina woman in this.
Yeah.
Very hot.
Really? Who's that?
What is her name, this woman?
I don't know her name. Ivan would have to tell us. I really
Oh, man, is she a piece of it? Oh, Fred has his...
Hey, it's not the girl on the new Zorro movie, right, with Antonio. Have you seen her?
No, but she's hot.
Oh, yeah.
Very hot.
Yeah,
Jacqueline Obradors.
Have you slept with her?
No, I'd like to.
So would I.
I'm willing. Jacqueline, if you're listening.
Paul Rodriguez, give her your resume.
Yeah,
very successful.
I'm a part-time pimp.
I can get you some work.
Yeah, I need some work. I'll tell you some magic stories.
Paul, it's always great when you come in here, man.
Thanks.
I'll watch you on Letterman tonight, too. And, of course, we'll be looking for you at Comic Relief 8 this Sunday night on HBO at 8 p.m. And Ivan will be in next with 6 Days, 7 Nights. He'll tell us stories about going to Hawaii. Anne Heche being out there, Ellen DeGeneres visiting Anne Heche, the whole thing, man.
Really? Where did they film it?
They filmed it in Hawaii. It's got some of the most beautiful location I've ever seen in a movie. I have to go to Hawaii. You've probably been to Hawaii.
Yeah, I've been to Hawaii, man. Hawaii is really cool for Chicanos because, we blend.
You kind of look Hawaiian, quite frankly.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
You get one of those flowery shirts?
Hey, I'm a Kama'aina,
Yeah, you pass, you know what I mean? You could be mistaken.
You're Samoan, aren't you?
You're a Chakahanalolo.
Chakahalahula. It's really weird because in Hawaii they have a street that's marijuana. It's called Mahilahona Drive or something like that.
Right.
In Spanish, it means joint, pot,
right.
Pot Avenue. And another thing,
everything's into pot out there, man.
Yeah, Lahaina in Chicano, Lahaina.
Vagina.
Oh, there you go. You're bilingual.
Well, yeah. Well, I grew up in a black and Spanish neighborhood. I know every dirty Spanish word there is.
Do you want to go to see Lahaina?
and you're going, yeah. Let's go right now.
Hook me up.
In fact, I grew up on a street called La Puntang. Very strange.
That's the Asian. That's a Chinatown.
Oh, that's right.
You got to get your ethnic Punani joke.
Yeah, I'm a little out of it. All right. Anyway, listen, man. Paul Rodriguez, thanks. And we'll be back with Ivan Reitman 6 Days, 7 Nights. And what's going on with that?
Hi, this is Hank, the angry drunken dwarf. Tonight meet Miss Nude Universe. Hear the tragic details of her life, then see her get totally naked. It's Sex Friday all night long on the Great E Show.
If you had one night with Miss Nude Universe, what would you do with her, Hank?
Knock her up.
And what's your favorite part of a woman?
The vagina.
Yeah, what is this, dirty work?
Yep.
Yeah, dirty work with... Norm MacDonald opens today. MGM presents the comedy that puts the FU back in fun. Dirty Work. Meet Mitch Weaver, played by Norm MacDonald, a one-time human punching bag who's about to turn his youthful trauma into a thriving business. Picked on, laughed at, beaten up, Mitch and fellow misfit Sam McKenna, played by Artie Lang, survived their childhood years by plotting and carrying out revenge on every small-time crook or thug that crossed their path. From school bullies to meter maids, from slumlords to circus performers, nobody's safe from their revenge, starring Norm MacDonald in his writing and feature film debut. Also starring Artie Lang, Christopher McDonald, and Jack Warden. Now, who's Christopher McDonald? Is that Norm's brother? I wonder. A new comedy for anyone who's ever been the underdog. It's payback time. Dirty Work opens today, rated PG-13. Norm Macdonald now playing at theaters everywhere. Dirty Work.
The Howard Stern Show.
Okay, so Ivan's here. Ivan Reitman, of course, made the film Private Parts. He was the producer of my film, and now he's got a brand new film. Robin was at the premiere last night. I saw the film. Robin, I understand that you not only met Harrison Ford, but you fell in love with him during this movie.
I'm still in love with him. I was listening to some news
in fact,
this morning. I heard Harrison's voice, and I was in love all over again.
And Ivan has ruined my relationship with you, Robin. Now that you've fallen in love with Harrison Ford. Robin had a very strange reaction to your movie. She is now in love with Harrison Ford, where she was formerly in love with me.
Oh man, we're all in love with you. You know.
How you doing, Ivan? Ivan, this is a big weekend for you.
Yes.
It's a horrible thing in a way.
It's terrible because this is an art form, and you really work hard.
Art smart. He's got to make cash.
Create art, and then all of a sudden it becomes this
Everybody,
race.
come on out.
There's no art about it. First of all,
race happens.
Ivan, I don't think you have a thing to worry about. I was reading this in Hollywood Reporter. It says the following. You ready?
Okay.
Okay, instead of Clark Gable and Claudette Colbert, this time we have Anne Heche, Harrison Ford, blah, 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 blah. It says, based on Ford's star power and the summary type of scenario, reserve an oceanside suite, if not the penthouse, to tally the pleasing box office for this Buena Vista merriment. Oh, we're in the money.
I'll applaud that.
You're treating the lunch. Well, I think you're in good shape for this weekend. First of all, you've got a nice film on your hands where it is... no one else has really broken out this summer. I think this is your moment.
There's certainly no couples movie so far.
Yeah, look, the movie's
romantic.
It's funny, it's entertaining, it's that kind of light summer thing that I'm hoping it'll work.
And as you said to me, it helps that Godzilla blows, right?
Did I say that? Was that an exact quote?
I could have sworn you said that to me the other day on the phone. God, thank God Godzilla blows. No, you never are disparaging toward other movies, isn't that true?
I try not to be.
You love your fellow filmmakers. That's the nice thing about you.
You know, everybody in Hollywood, puts everything down privately, but, when it comes to public comment, we're very careful.
You're very diplomatic. So this is a big weekend for Ivan, because I remember even with our movie, it was like a big deal, opening weekend. You're sitting there on Spielkiss.
Do you remember how many times I called you on Friday night? What was it, at 5 o'clock? Well,
I know. I got so nervous. It's like, and then as I was talking to you about 6 days, 7 nights, here it is. And despite the fact that you got Harrison Ford, who just pulls everybody in anyway, it's like you got to go through it each time. It's like the whole world is watching. It's like you're getting a report card. What a wacky business.
It is a very wacky business. It doesn't matter how many times you've done it.
Let me tell you something. I crapped myself last night, and this isn't even my movie. All right? I'm just nervous for Ivan.
And we had, 2 premieres, which is the worst way to see a movie because...
Why is it the worst way to see a movie?
First of all, in Hollywood, you've got the Hollywood crowd showing up, and what they really want to do is put it down.
They're all the insiders.
They want to hate it.
To laugh. And we had a very...
What you're saying is everyone in Hollywood wants you to fail.
Yes.
Yes. But, why is that? Are they jealous of your success?
Business.
Competitiveness.
Yes.
Just general competitiveness.
Yeah, it's like they see you, Ivan, I love you, I want to work with you, and then after, I hope this sucks.
And inevitably, it's the last time you see your film until you see it on television, because by then, if you directed the movie, you've seen the movie 1,000 times, you don't want to see it again.
Yes.
So you keep seeing it at the very last times when it's all finished in these very stayed screenings instead of the preview screenings, which are much more exciting. Where you get regular people.
Yeah, real people.
And was this the first time? Yeah, you'd rather see this film with real people. Like tonight, will you go to a movie theater and see it with real people?
Probably I can't see this movie again because I've seen it about 1,000 times.
Even though the movie is great, you're saying that it's an upper.
Millions and millions and millions of Americans come out.
Well, my friend Ralph already has seen it 2 times.
I know.
He went his second time already.
Yeah,
he
had a good
with me
time
last night,
Yeah, well, he got to sit near Anne Heche.
You know what Ralph was doing? This lovely young lady walks in, and she's on the other side of the theater from us, and Ralph goes, wow, who's that? And we find out it's Ivan's daughter.
Oh, Jesus. You don't want to let Ralph... You don't even want your daughter sharing food with Ralph, let alone... really, is that right?
Hanging around the table. He didn't leave until midnight last night.
How old is your daughter now?
She's 17.
Oh, she is 17. Yes. Well, that would be the right age for me, too. I would like a date myself.
Yes, well, fortunately, you're married.
Yeah, and very happily. So I have no interest in anybody else, as you saw in my film. But Ralph thought Harrison Ford was cute too. So
yes, he did.
That's right.
He had lots of ways to go on this picture.
Right. So wait a second. Where was I in the saga here? here.
We were at the...
All right, when you go to Hawaii, first of all, I noticed in the movie how beautiful the scenery is. When you go to Hawaii to make a movie, isn't that the best thing to do, though? Wasn't it really like a 5-month vacation? Did you have to bring along your wife and kids, or were you out there by yourself?
My whole family was there.
Oh, they were?
Yes.
Oh, what the hell's the point
It
then?
really doesn't matter, because I worked, when you direct a movie and you produce a movie, you end up working about a 14 and 15-hour day anyway.
You know who I fell in love with? I fell in love with the Spanish chick you cast in the movie.
Jackie Obradors.
Oh.
Yeah, she hadn't done anything. She came in one day, she read with this funny accent.
I want to bang her. Fix me up with her. Come on, man. I've been good to you. You've been good to me.
That's right.
Come on.
Hey,
come on.
Where was she last night?
Yeah, where was she?
Actually, she didn't come last night.
No.
She stayed in...
Oh, she's too big now to come to the
That's
premiere.
right. Now she's a working girl.
But Harrison was there and Ann was there.
Yes.
Was Ellen there as well?
No, she wasn't there a lot. She's shooting EdTV.
Oh, is that right?
That thing for Ron Howard.
Oh, I didn't know that. Huh.
So she
Who knew?
come.
I was not distracted by... When I saw the movie, I was not... they're always making an issue. Are
right,
people going to be...
People were asking last night when you came out of the film, what do you think? Was there chemistry? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, they had chemistry. In fact, when they kissed each other, it looked as real as anybody kissing each other in the movies.
Hot.
It was very hot.
All I have to say is after meeting Harrison Ford, I can understand anybody falling in love with him.
What are you saying? You're saying that... Are you saying that...
Ivan, I'm sure you did.
Are you saying that Haish converted during the filming of 6 Days, 7 Nights?
He could do it to anyone.
Really?
Converting, deconverting,
Really? I'm a guy. I can't tell who's hot.
I
personally think Ivan's hotter than Harrison.
I bet you
really?
Harrison could convert you.
Yeah. You are really, you worked up.
I can't tell you what happened to me.
What happened to you? Tell me physically what happened to you.
I couldn't even speak. Ivan said, Robin, this is Harrison Ford. I went, Harrison Ford.
Really?
I just lost it.
What's the matter with you?
I couldn't help it.
Did he slip you some Viagra? What is that?
It was amazing.
So you feel good. This is it. This is going to be big this weekend. I believe it is going to be big this weekend. I think people will enjoy this movie.
It's very entertaining. I think people want to go out and have a good time. This is it.
That's right. It's a fun movie, and, people want to go out and have a good time, be romantic. This is the movie.
It made me want to go on an island with a strange woman.
Wasn't that a beautiful place, though?
Yeah, I would like that.
Oh, my
I really want that to happen to me for once in my life. You see, then I could cheat. You see, if I was on a plane... See, this movie brings up an interesting premise.
What happens if?
If I was on a plane, let's say Anne Heche, and she dug me a little bit. She was a little attracted to me. And we crash.
I think she would dig you.
And I think, I do too. I really do, because I look a lot like a woman. Listen to me. So if I was on a plane with Anne Heche, okay, and we crash, because we'd have to crash because I can't fly for crap.
That's right. You'd have to crash.
Is it true that Harrison Ford flew his own plane for this?
Yes.
He did?
Yes. Not all the time, but yes, he flew many times on camera.
Because that's an amazing scene where they crash, and you're up in the sky, and you got the lightning going and everything. That's all special effects, right?
Yeah, mostly special effects, but
very nice.
at the end of that scene, those are real shots of him flying.
That is him?
Yeah.
I'm going to show off.
I know. He has to be able to act and fly.
He's a pain in the ass. So, I don't think Ivan really liked him.
Oh, I think he did.
I don't think you can say it.
I think everyone
I got jealous.
I loved him.
I was watching the movie, and I remember when you called me and said, I'm going off to Hawaii. This was at the end of Private Parts. You said, I'm going off to Hawaii to make my movie. I got jealous. I felt that I should be making a movie again. I really felt that I should. What if I was in that role?
Howard, when you think about other movies, like you've been talking about perhaps directing your own film, that you found another script.
Yes.
You talk to other directors on this show.
Yes.
I get very jealous.
Do you really?
I really, honest to God.
Really?
How can you talk to anybody else?
I know. Well, believe me, I don't want to talk to anyone else. Well, what can I do? I get jealous. You don't sit around and wait for me. You want to run off with Harrison Ford making movies. And even during, sometimes I'd be in a meeting with Ivan.
Yeah.
And Ivan would say, excuse me, I have to take a phone call. And I said, well, who is it? He said, no, I have to take a call. I said, well, who is it? It's Harrison Ford. We're doing a movie together. And I'd be like, what the hell? I mean, he's talking to Harrison Ford.
Well, I'm in the
What about me?
I'm here.
I said, do you tell Harrison that I'm on? I swear, I was like a chick. Do you tell Harrison that I'm on the phone? But, no, because you know what? You see, you need to direct him because other guys would get intimidated. The guys who've done so many damn good movies, they're probably afraid to tell him what to do, right?
All good actors want direction,
They do?
Yeah.
He listened to you. He didn't try to pull a Star Trip.
No, not him, no.
And was Ellen DeGeneres there during the filming of 6 Days, 7 Nights? She was?
all the time. She came,
She would fly into Hawaii?
Yeah.
And the two of them be running around in bathing suits?
Yeah.
And you would see this?
I would see it.
And did you make any comment? Did you get a camera? You should have got a few shots of that in the movie.
It helped our film.
You don't think so? It would have been gratuitous?
It would have been, yeah.
Really?
This was a different kind of story. Perhaps in our next film,
That would be good.
That's right. In our Desert Island movie.
Yeah, I want to make a Desert Island movie, please. Can you imagine?
Ivan's going to shoot a Desert Island movie with you. You'll be trapped with a guy.
I know. My luck. No, seriously, why don't we do that?
He is.
Just me, you, no wives. We go off and we get trapped on a desert island making a movie.
With these Scores girls.
With Scores girls.
That's right. The whole island full of Scores girls.
Let me ask you this question because it was rumored. At any point did Ellen DeGeneres cold cock Harrison Ford during the filming of this movie?
Not even close.
Not even close?
No.
No. Never happened.
That was a rumor, huh?
That was the rumor.
I didn't see that.
No, actually, the rumor was that Anne Heche was with a guy during the making of the movie, and that, in fact, that over in Hawaii, she was scoring with a guy. True or false?
Wow. It was not me.
Wow. It was not you. No, I know you're faithful to your wife, but was that true or false?
I don't know.
You didn't see anything. That is a lie. I know you've seen it all.
I didn't see anything.
I don't even think it was Ivan's movie that rumor
I've
was
heard
about.
rumors on other films.
Yeah.
But,
who would win in a fight between Harrison Ford and Ellen DeGeneres? Your best guess. Harrison could take
pretty good with his shirt off.
Harrison's in real good shape. I was shocked.
Body, yeah.
That guy's in good shape.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Running around on the island, he got the shirt
with
off.
The little shorts, everything. All right.
Unbelievable. Shorts with his ass sticking out. But it did make me want to go to an island. Because then you would be able to cheat, right? Even you're happily married like I am.
All bets are off when you're stranded?
I mean, you don't. I know you don't think about other women, and I don't certainly think about other women at all. But the thing is that if you crashed with a woman on an island, like in the premise of your new movie, don't you believe that then you say, look, there's probably no chance in hell we're ever going to be discovered.
Yeah, we're going to be here forever.
We're going to be here forever.
We have to start a whole new world.
Right. I don't want to. I miss my wife, but I'm going to make love to you. Wouldn't you, in fact, at that point, wouldn't you cheat? Yeah, you would cheat. Let you. Hell, no, there's no law around. Hey, let you. I'd hop right on top of her. Listen, you're so rich, and I'm not doing bad. Can't we arrange a plane crash for 2 chicks?
A safe plane crash.
It would be the best. Yeah, when we know we'd survive. But that's what I like, because even when Ivan told me the premise of the movie originally, he says, picture this.
Doesn't everybody love those kind of movies?
He says, picture this. You're on a plane. Guy, a girl.
A beautiful girl.
Beautiful girl. You crash. She's running around in the shortest goddamn skirt with a bra.
Flimsy outfits.
Flimsy out. Yeah, I noticed that. That was all. You were all over that. Did you pick out these outfits?
Well,
tell the
I'm
truth.
the director. I have to.
You do.
I'm involved.
But it made sense because she was on vacation, so she had only brought vacation clothing.
I mean, everyone's practically naked, which I like. I like that. Everyone's running around the island practically naked. And lo and behold, they're there, nude, and running around, and love happens.
Getting dirty and muddy.
And what's great about Harrison Ford is a very capable guy.
Oh yeah.
Like he's a pilot and stuff.
Man.
He can do things. Me, I would have to have the woman
the girl would
doing
have to
stuff.
Take care of you.
Yeah, she'd have to pull snakes out of my pants.
You'd want
that's right.
room service. Basically.
Yeah, I would have to have room service. I'd write a note, put it in a bottle, toss it in the water, and then bang everyone in sight and say, hey, listen, help's on the way, honey. Unbelievable. Here's Ralph. He says Robin was goofy with Harrison Ford last night.
I told him not to call in until after Ivan was gone because I was goofy.
Go ahead, Ralph.
So goofy.
What happened? And I heard you were hitting on Ivan's daughter.
No, I just mentioned there was a hot chick on the other side of the room, and then she came over and it was Ivan's daughter.
Let me tell you, it'd be wise to go out with her. You'd hit the mother load. Ivan's worth almost $1 billion.
Wow.
All right?
Yeah.
He doesn't like to admit it. He'll never admit it, but you are.
Dad.
Not even close.
Dad. Imagine, Ralph, you hook up with Ivan's daughter, be like, Dad. You would not allow Ralph to marry your daughter, right?
I'd kill him.
You would. Hey, did you know Phil Hartman? You know all the comics.
No, I never met Phil Hartman.
That's kind of weird that you didn't know Phil Hartman. I figured you must have worked with him or something.
You had never met.
No. Yeah. Sad story.
A very sad story.
Never marry a coke whore. I always say it.
Who knows what she was when she first married him? They were married for 10 years.
So she was a whore.
Oh.
Never marry a whore. Never. Right, Ivan? Ivan told me that.
That's a rule.
That's his philosophy.
That's right.
That's the Reitman family motto. Never marry a whore. So, Ralph, already you've seen this movie 2 times.
I'm a big fan.
You're wild. Hey, let me understand something. What happened when Robin met Harrison Ford?
Don't tell my story.
The funniest part of it was we were sitting there for about 10 minutes discussing him. I was saying that he's a real good actor and he's got a lot of charisma. And Robin's like, well, he's not like a great actor like Al Pacino. He can't bring life to a movie when there's nothing else there. And he's okay, but he's not a great actor. Harrison Ford comes along. Robin falls to pieces. She just turns to jelly and like falls over me. She's like, "Oh, Harrison Ford."
Just proving my own
So in other
argument.
words, he is a great actor.
Oh, he's got charisma.
And then she starts. The funny thing was, she's like, we met a couple of years ago at the Rainforest show, and he's just like, okay, nice.
Yeah, right. Big deal. All gruff.
She would let
He was
go of
very
his
gracious.
hand.
He
He was?
really very sweet.
He
Yeah.
was charming. Now, how did you end up meeting Harrison? Did Ivan usher him over?
introduced
Oh, yeah, that's what I figured. Way to go.
If you would have come last night, I would have done the same.
Really?
And then you could have gushed.
I'd be like, oh, Harrison.
I think Harrison Ford is a great actor. I think he's really a throwback to those great sort of movie stars of the 40s.
Like the Clark Gable type?
Well, now I'm
Humphrey
going to agree
Bogart. I
with
think
you.
he's one of the few guys out there who can do that kind of stuff. And he makes what he does look so easy that you don't give him credit.
That's right.
I think he's
That's
a really
what I
good
did.
dramatic and comedic actor.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
I realized that. I told Rob.
And why do you say that about him? Did you say that about me?
I just said it about you.
You did?
I said, just like you, Howard.
Right.
I've learned.
But
Yeah.
I said goodnight
Thank
to
you.
Ivan I said goodnight to Harrison at
You
the
ignored Ivan.
beginning.
Yeah.
I did say goodnight to Ivan.
And what happens
I
at the
said
premiere?
goodnight to Harrison, and he kissed me on the cheek.
Oh, he did? Ah.
Yeah, she cupped her hand over her cheek and ran home. It's like, I'm not Washington.
Did she say that?
No.
Oh.
Might as well have.
Oh, I'm so embarrassed. Oh, that's what the effect the movie has on women. So this is a movie good for men because they can see lots of like almost naked chicks.
Yeah.
And it's good for women
And
because...
decent action and stuff, but I mean, it's mostly a comedy.
Right. You're going to laugh, too. It's a fun movie. It really is. It's a lot of fun. And beautifully shot, beautifully directed, of course, by my friend, Ivan Reitman.
When are we going to work again?
Well, but you keep saying we're going to make a sequel to Private Parts, and you tell me you have a great idea. I never hear this idea.
Yeah, I don't want to sort of give it away on the air.
Really?
But I do,
You tell everybody.
On the next break.
Yeah, no, seriously. You have
Lenny Bloom was here for this thing last night.
Yes,
who
he
wrote
was,
Private
that's right.
Parts.
Yes.
And we've been talking about it for a couple of months, and we talked about it last night, actually, after the premiere.
I think the world is
1
ready.
1:00 in the morning.
I think I'm ready to act again, by the way. I was burnt out for a while on acting. I loved it, but I thought, well, with the radio show and everything else going on with the CBS show starting on Saturday night, but I am ready.
Yeah, I think it's time to now sort of start working on the story.
Right.
So that like a year from now.
Exactly. Or let's just start shooting and see what happens.
Let's get on that plane.
Cameras roll.
Let's just get on a plane, go to an island. Let's shoot a documentary.
Yeah, can we do ours on a beach this time?
Yeah. Do me a favor. Any sequel on a beach with chicks.
Get that Puerto Rican girl in there.
Yeah, you like that, huh?
Argentinian.
She married?
No.
What a set of cans. Are those real?
Yes.
How do you know? How do you know?
Yes. It's my job.
Why is it? Because you're so your eye is so trained you
That's
can...
right. I can tell the secrets. I'm not quite as trained as you are in terms of knowing the difference between real and silicone.
Oh, man.
You know what? It really was a great move, and it was a lot of fun, but I have one criticism.
Uh-oh.
Here we go. Ralph
That girl goes to take her top off.
Yes, and I don't
Take
show
her
it.
top off, and all of a sudden they swing around to the back.
Oh, okay, I'll agree with Ralph. If I could find a criticism of the movie, you are a great director, but why not show her breasts?
So disappointing.
Was that because of the ratings board? You wanted to make sure the family could go to see this film?
Yes.
I see.
Yeah,
but a quick look, I mean, that wouldn't have...
Did she, when you shot that scene, did she take off her top for real?
Yes.
And there is footage somewhere of her with her top off.
Probably, yes.
Right. It's playing out a continuous loop in Ivan's house. I want her. Oh, is that right? She actually shot it and took off her top, and then you have made a decision later to take that out.
We pretty well knew while we were shooting it that it would go that way.
But as any good director would do, you make sure she takes the top off anyway.
The coverage.
Was it? Yeah, right. Was it beautiful when her top was off?
It was just fine. Yes.
Wow.
I was always, on the wrong side. I was,
And you made this film for Disney, right?
Yes.
That's why you had to take the top. Yeah. Right. You would have woken up Walt Disney out of his ice coma.
He would have walked the earth again.
He would have walked the earth.
Footage out.
How old is that girl?
I guess in their late 20s.
Really? No kidding.
Maybe younger.
Oh, that's from me.
Hey, didn't Anne Heche look pretty hot in it, too?
Yeah. What's up with... Well, it's because Ivan dressed her. When she's hanging around with Ellen, she's like, dressed like a man. Ivan puts her in some clothes. Suddenly there's magic.
And she looked good last night.
She looked glamorous.
She's got nice legs.
Yeah.
There's one shot toward the end of the movie. I won't ruin the movie, but she's sitting in an airport. I could swear I could see up her dress.
Oh,
when she's got those high heels on.
I saw panty. I swear, was she wearing panties or what? Do you know?
You are such an eagle eye.
There was no panties on there, right?
God knows.
You know.
I didn't check.
You know exactly. There isn't a thing this guy misses. Unbelievable. All right, Ralph, get off the phone. Nobody wants to talk to you. Tommy, go ahead. You saw the movie?
Yes, I did.
How did you see it already?
I saw it last night in Boston at a sneak preview.
Oh, sneak preview.
Loved it.
Oh,
good.
Anne H. was great. I was surprised. I didn't expect, to like it. And it was a fun movie. The chick was hot. I just want to ask Ivan a question.
Go ahead.
How are you going to get along making movies in Hollywood if you can't have Rosie O'Donnell in your movies?
Yeah, how will you ever go on?
Yeah, she took off after me when she heard that I was doing private parts. I was at the Aspen Comedy Festival that year, and that's when I learned what it was like to work with Howard Stern.
Yeah.
Suddenly I had enemies.
Yeah, suddenly a guy who had no enemies has enemies. All right, Ivan, as long as you're here, guess how many jelly beans are in Rosie O'Donnell's head. There you are, right there. Take a look.
Right in front
of you, Ivan, right here. Look, follow my finger. This is Rosie's head. You'll say, look at the jelly beans first, and realize the enormity of Rosie's head. That's the actual size. Take a guess.
All right, 11,650.
I believe he's high. I don't mean on marijuana or something. I mean you're high with your count.
Too high.
Yeah.
What are jelly beans?
He's too what? Low? Way too high. He's way too high.
11,000.
Well, I always think in big numbers.
Ivan, I am so thrilled for you with this new movie. You are, as I have said on the air about 1 billion times, you are one of the world's greatest directors.
Thank you very much.
You know that. I know that. Maybe the Academy doesn't know it.
Ivan is getting an honorary doctorate?
Is that right? A doctor.
Thank you very much,
Where do you...
Dr. Reitman.
Yeah, it's going to be doctor.
I predict $50 million this weekend. $50 million on 6 days, 7 nights.
Smoking?
That's what I predict. And I would like a cut of the action. Ivan, what is this honorary doctorate? Please, let me know. In what?
To Canada, to Toronto, to the University of Toronto is giving me an honorary doctor of
because
law.
I have a cyst that I need removed, and I was wondering if you could do it.
Give you honorary.
Yeah, I know you're not a doctor yet, but
I can't do that kind of medical. But I guess I'm a doctor of law, so maybe they'll allow me to practice.
After this movie, I believe you'll get your doctorate in nippleology because there's plenty. Everybody's are nipples prominently displayed in this movie or what?
Just by accident, it just sort of happened.
I can imagine. I believe you storyboarded that right from the beginning and knew what you were doing. What, Ivan? When you get an honorary doctorate, is it satisfying at all because you didn't really earn it in the sense that you
what do you mean he hasn't earned it?
Well, he hasn't gone to class.
But he's done it, life work, life experience.
This is honoring me for, I guess, my body of work.
For your body of work.
Since...
Oh, then you're in
I tried to get into the University of Toronto as a kid.
And you couldn't get in?
I couldn't get in.
Yeah.
I didn't have the marks or the prerequisites.
Thank God. You didn't go to college, did you?
Yeah, I went to McMaster University, which is a smaller school in Hamilton, Ontario.
You must have been
all
some
your Canadian
student.
fans, they'll understand all this.
Right. Is that like the 13th grade? At college?
14th grade.
Academics wasn't your strong smoot.
I'm a music graduate. I had to go into a music class, and it was the only school that would take me because they were just starting their music department.
What do you mean you're a music graduate? In other words, your degree is in, you were a musician?
I'm a Bachelor of Music, yes.
And what instrument did you play?
Virtually everything very poorly.
I want to hear this.
Yeah,
Hand Ivan a guitar. Do you ever play guitar?
I used to have a group.
You did with Lenny, right?
No, not with Lenny.
No. Oh, a different group.
Just before I knew Lenny, when I was in high school, I had a group called the Twin Tone Four.
No kidding. And what a name that is.
We had twins, and there was 4 of us.
Really?
Yeah, pretty pathetic.
And did you actually work, or?
Yeah, we used to go to the sort of coffee houses. This is back in the folk era.
Right.
We were knocking off the Kingston Trio and Peter, Paul, and Mary.
If you ever want to jam with the Losers, my band, I'll let you.
We would have been great together.
I didn't know he was a musician.
Yeah, get Gary's trumpet.
Oh, no.
I think it's funny that you were a music major who couldn't play. That's funny. That's very good.
Well, that's the only way I got in. I wanted some kind of liberal arts degree. I talked my way into this school. There was only 4 of us, me and 3 girls.
That was the whole music department.
Smart. That was the music department. Unbelievable.
I turned to film instead.
Here's another guy who says he was at the premiere last night. What is it, Russell?
Yeah, I was waiting the tables last night.
Oh.
And I wanted to say it was nice. You guys did a really good job raising the money for cancer.
Yeah.
Oh,
great job, Ivan.
Thank you,
breast cancer.
Excellent, yeah.
Oh, is that what you did? You donated the proceeds from the premiere to breast cancer?
Yeah.
Notice on my premiere, we donated none of the proceeds. I kept everything.
Went right to you.
Yeah, went right to me because I could care less. I have my own problems. I have my own charity.
Very nice.
But, Ivan, it's good to see with your other films that you're very generous.
I also wanted to say another thing, Howard.
Yes.
Robin, oh my God, you look so stunning last night.
Oh.
Your breasts are huge.
They are, yeah.
Holy Holy shit.
All right, easy.
God.
Thank you.
Yeah, hey, Ivan.
By the way, do you recognize the voice? This is Harrison Ford, the star of the new 6 Days, 7 Nights.
This is me, Robin.
You're a lot looser when you're on the phone.
Too many people watching me at the premiere.
Right. All right.
Ivan, you did a great job, baby.
Thank you.
All right, baby. He must be a Hollywood insider. Anyway, Ivan, congratulations on your latest success.
Thank you.
Everybody's raving about 6 Days, 7 Nights. It's a really great time at the movies. Robin was at the premiere last night. I saw it on Wednesday, and Ralph's already gone 2 times. What does that tell you?
It's a must-see, and see it again.
Not only did Ralph have a good time, but he tried to bang Ivan's daughter.
Oh, no.
Now, Ivan, your daughter can't be at every screening of this, can she?
No, unfortunately.
So you cannot bang Ivan's daughter. I don't even want to think about my daughters getting banged.
Yeah, it's coming for you. I mean...
Oh, please. Well, you think your daughter's had sex?
Yes.
You do think so, but you're not sure.
You know, she's 17.
Oh, gee.
You think it has to be that way at 17?
It's probably going to happen to you.
No.
You're going to have to deal with it.
Not with Danny Goldberg, I hope.
And he's a very happily married man.
He is.
I didn't see Danny. Where was Danny?
Danny was at the premiere in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I missed him.
Yeah, Ivan has him whipped into shape.
Okay, he can't travel.
No, he can't. Ivan, I love seeing you. I love you. And, of course, you know, everyone is going to go see 6 Days, 7 Nights, the new Harrison Ford Anne Heche movie. Go see it. And, you know, if Ivan directed it, it's good. So there it is. Ivan Reitman, everybody.
Thank you.
You're listening to the Howard Stern Show.
Homo says what?
The Howard Stern Show.
All right, Robin, it's time to go over the day's events.
You won't believe it, Howard, but today is
Fred wrote a joke?
No.
Oh.
Still crying.
Today is the 4th anniversary of the crime that captured the nation's attention. It was 4 years ago today that O.J.
Jackie got married. Oh.
O.J. Simpson's ex-wife and her friend were killed outside her California home.
Today is the day.
Nicole Brown Simpson was killed along with Ron Goldman. Her charitable foundation will hold its 4th annual candlelight vigil tonight in memory of Nicole.
I made one mistake.
Well, time flies.
It'll take place on a state beach just south of Los Angeles. A jury acquitted O.J. Simpson of the murders, but he was later found liable for their deaths in a civil suit.
Murdered in cold blood.
Of course, on Sunday, to mark the 4th anniversary, O.J. will be featured in a True Hollywood story.
That's beautiful.
It's called O.J., Nicole, and Ron, Countdown to Murder.
It was a love story. I don't understand how Ron got in, but he's there.
They say that O.J. spoke exclusively with E! for this show. He maintains his defense team theory that he was framed by the Los Angeles Police Department.
How can he maintain that he spoke exclusively? He's speaking to everybody.
Here's number 18.
My basic attitude is if Cato had told Mark Furman that he heard noise on the tennis court, that the glove would have been found on the tennis court. I thought in the very beginning when I was sitting in jail and I'd come out of my shock and fog that was the best evidence for me.
He also admits that he and Nicole were having problems right before the murders.
His blood was all over the scene of the crime. He's like still talking like he's innocent.
At this particular time, I really wasn't speaking to her because she had yelled at me on the phone a week previous to that about something her friend Faye Rusnick had created. And I thought she was a little out of line, so I told her, don't call me unless it's about the kids. But we never had any problem talking about the kids when the kids were involved.
Although I wasn't talking to her.
Right. I said, don't talk to me unless it's about the kids.
Now, you remember that...
I should have cut her tongue out.
Alan Park, he was the limo driver who said he saw a man running across the pathway to the front door of the house. Previously, he had not been able to get an answer at the door. He had come to take O.J. to the airport, but he couldn't get anybody. And then once he saw this guy run across the lawn, O.J. was answering his call. Simpson says, yeah, he was the dark figure, but he never walked up the driveway.
Finished getting dressed, threw on my pants and my shoes, had my robe on, finished packing my one of my bags, carried it down the stairs, went out the front door, dropped it. Right where Alan Park said he saw a person.
I love when O.J. is like his own lawyer. Oh, come on. You know I'm innocent. Why am I still answering this?
And he still maintains that the murder had something to do with Faye Resnick and Resnick's drug habit.
And I've always felt that Faye Resnick, the answer is her. I mean, people always want to avoid this. This girl was in a panic about her money. She obviously owed some money. She had been doing drugs heavily. You know, originally she made some claim that she had done $30 worth of crack, cocaine, or freebasing, but once we got the records from the place she went, the day that they had put her in a few days before these murders, she had said for the last 2 months she had been doing it every day. She even tried to proposition one of the employees there at the place, so she was kind of in a bad way.
Murder's so weird, you know, because he sounds perfectly reasonable, you know, and it's like, you know, hey, you know, before these murders, and
you wonder, what do you have?
Does he just snap? What if he wants to murder again, though? You know, I mean, I think once you murder, you kind of get it in your blood and you want to do it again.
You think it's like when a tiger bites a man, you say he's a man killer, you got to kill him.
You got to put him down. He's a man. I think it's in your blood. It's like you get a fever.
You get that taste.
I don't know that he hasn't murdered anyone since. Who knows?
Oh.
Who knows? Keep an eye on him.
It is an illusion.
I don't know.
It wouldn't be out of the question, right?
Don't ask me about Phil Hartman.
Oh!
I want to go there. Was none of my blood there.
Homie, don't play that.
Tonight it's game number 5.
Number 5, Robin, that's right.
Between the Utah Jazz and the Chicago Bulls.
Utah Jazz, Chicago Bulls, that's right, Robin.
Dennis Rodman says he's ready to play. Number 29, please.
He thought someone was going to kill someone to be Dennis Rodman. He's doing fine. Why didn't he kill someone?
That's right.
That'd be funny if, like, during the interview, O.J. would have said, I've always believed these murders were committed by Dennis Rodman.
You blame other sports figures.
Yeah, right.
They found purple hair at the scene.
Here's Dennis Rodman.
I feel relief. I think it's a bit emotional, burden lifted off my shoulders. You know, it's not physical. It's more emotional, more intense, and things like that. And other than that, physical, I'm fine. It's time to wrap this up and get on with our lives and have a good time this summer.
So he's ready to just go. Let's end it tonight.
He's ready to win.
That's right. He's also getting some good press here because of his actions of a few days ago. There was this terrible murder down in Jasper, Texas. A man was dragged to his death by 3 men believed to be white supremacists. And Dennis Rodman just called up and said, send me the bill for the man's funeral.
I should have done that first. I am so mad at myself I could kick myself.
He offered to pay for the funeral of this black man down in Texas. Here's Dennis Rodman, number 15.
Number 15. He also offered to light his hair on fire at the funeral. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
The Rodman group came along and said, let's do something about this. Let's at least help out.
Who came along? The Rodman group?
I didn't know there was such a thing. You don't have a Stern group, do you?
Actually, I do, yeah.
So people could say, okay, Dennis Rodman's not so damn bad.
Oh, so you see, he admits it was calculated.
Absolutely. He was thinking of his image when he did this.
Smart.
At least he's telling us the truth.
Next big tragedy.
You're thinking of your image.
Yeah. Would you please remind me to think of my image?
All right, right away.
People, you know, like when all these religious groups go after me, they say, yeah, but, you know, he did pay for a funeral.
I don't want anybody to have to die just so you can have a little good press, but...
I tell you what, if O.J. kills again, I offer to pay for the funeral. That's very sweet of you.
You know, he's very hard to catch.
O.J., will you kill again?
I'd like to have 2 more.
2 more killings.
At this time of the year, I guess people start climbing out west, climbing mountains.
Yeah, and that means the taxpayers have to go search for these people.
And at Mount Rainier National Park, one person is dead after a dozen mountain climbers got caught in an avalanche.
I'm never climbing a mountain.
At the Mount Rainier Peak in Washington State.
If man was made to climb mountains, he would have attached ropes to him.
Donna Ryer, who is a spokesperson for the park, says half of the party were swept over a cliff called Disappointment Cleaver. She describes what happened.
I thought that's what they called the Leave It to Beaver reunion.
Disappointment Cleaver?
Yeah. What number?
Number 1, please.
Number 1. Okay.
Some of the climbing party was swept over the nose of the Disappointment Cleaver. Some of them were able to self-arrest, so they did not fall. The injured were the ones that were swept over the edge of the cleaver.
There were no warnings to alert these people that they were going into a dangerous area. And Ryer says Mount Rainier has its challenges just like any other mountain.
Yeah, I like that. People want warnings that they're going into a dangerous area. Like you don't know it's dangerous.
Well, they're telling you right now, mountain climbing is dangerous.
Yeah. How many times you got to be warned?
Climbing Mount Rainier is over glacier, ice, and snow, deep snow.
Yeah, maybe they ought to put up some signs that tell you it's dangerous.
This particular area isn't any more dangerous than the rest of the mountain. It just is. It's one of the climbing routes that climbers use all the time.
What happens when you fall off a mountain and you're on your way to your death? Do you pass out before you hit the ground, or do you hit the ground and feel it?
I don't know if you'd pass out.
I've heard you pass out.
Why have you heard that?
Because you want to believe it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Remember I was telling you I thought that's what happened in plane crashes, and then we talked to the guys in the plane crash, and they said, no, we knew what was happening all the time.
Interesting.
So no longer do I believe that your brain just takes that away from you. You know what's going on.
I'd get my pants off quick and bang whoever was near me.
As you're on the way down?
Off a cliff, yeah.
That would be a good move.
Thank you.
Yesterday there was a hearing in Washington, D.C.
What?
We've been doing stories like this. They say there's a lot more activity, unruly activity on airlines these days.
Yes, people misbehave.
Passengers are just getting out of hand, and no longer is it infrequent. These things are happening all the time.
Well, as airfare begins to lower, Robin, you start to see riffraff getting on these planes, and it's almost like a bus terminal, the airport now.
Yeah, and the flight attendants are saying, you know what, we're in trouble up there.
Yes.
Here's Krista Tesh. She's a former flight attendant for American Eagle, testifying at a hearing. The House Aviation Subcommittee held yesterday. There's been a dramatic increase in the number of unruly passengers. The committee is examining the issue of passenger misconduct and also considering legislation that would limit the number of carry-on bags to one per person. Tess says she was attacked by a passenger last year.
He grabbed my forearms, and while I was still sitting in my seat, he grabbed as hard as he could. I managed to get my arms away, but he flailed his hands and arms around, hitting me repeatedly with his fists. The plane was still on its descent. He then sat on the floor next to me and refused to go to his seat.
She sounds hot. She hot?
I don't know. I didn't see her. One of the people who testified, she's the Flight Attendant Association International president, said that some of the passengers get upset because TV ads make it look as though airline travel is very glamorous.
Right.
And they get very upset up there when they get on the plane and they get this little bag of peanuts. So then they get outraged and start to attack. The Airline Pilots Association National Security Committee Chairman Captain Steve Lucky says that
he's not so lucky.
There's a general lack of civility on airline flights.
It's a permissive society that we live in. People are getting more vocal, and they're expressing themselves in a physical manner without any reprisals. So if they can get away with it, they do it.
And it's really weird.
Isn't it crazy?
Planes used to be like a whole big thing, like you really behaved yourself.
But
now it's like bus travel
up there.
Yeah.
You know, these people are flying a plane.
They don't care.
It could crash.
There's psychos. There's lunatics in our country who really should be cleaned out of the country. When somebody does something like misbehave on a plane, they really should be put to death. They really should. Governor Pataki agrees with me. I know it.
So we're going to have the death penalty now for acting up on an airplane?
Yeah, why not?
Throw him out of the plane.
Yeah, quick, give him a trial and throw him off the plane.
Have a vote in the cabin. I mentioned earlier the death of the man down in Jasper, Texas. Yesterday, Janet Reno, the Attorney General of the United States, restated the Clinton administration's outrage over the dragging death of a black hitchhiker, allegedly by 3 white men. The Attorney General says no decision has been made yet on whether this case will be tried at the federal or local level. Number 12.
I just love the idea of throwing a guy off the plane.
Oh, still back there.
I'm still laughing about that. Yeah, throw him off.
The local U.S. attorney will work closely with the district attorney, and it will be my hope that we do it based on what is in the best interest of the case, what is in the best interest of the community.
That'd be a funny movie if I ever wanted to do a sequel to 6 Days, 7 Nights. It's me and Janet Reno on a plane. So it crashes. And she's chasing me around the island the whole time.
Come here, you big bruiser.
She doesn't want to be saved.
Be my luck. I'll be in Hawaii for 4 months shooting with Janet Reno. Kiss me.
Woo, Mama wants the licking stick.
Come on, we must procreate.
We have to start a new world. Talking about the guy down in Texas. Also out in San Francisco, prosecutors are now saying as many as 20 armed white men chased 2 young black couples through the city's Haight-Ashbury district on Monday night.
20 armed white men?
Yeah.
See, look what's going on.
The 24-year-old man accused of leading the attack has pleaded innocent to charges of assault and child abuse. Under California law, those charges are even more serious as hate crimes. The victims say the knife-wielding gang taunted them with racial slurs and beat one man with a chain. One couple's baby was toppled out of her carriage in the scuffle but was not hurt. Other victims had scrapes and bruises.
Wow. Heavy stuff. We got to take a quick break. We'll come back with the rest of the news and blah, blah, blah.
Comedy Hijinks with David Letterman and James Earl Jones.
Well, now, to help you get in the proper holiday mood, we'll be treating you to selections from one of this year's hottest gifts. I'm talking about the Books on Tape edition of Howard Stern's Miss America, as read by James Earl Jones. Here, Mr. Jones reads a passage about sex in cyberspace.
I'll have a special sex chair to sit in. And I'll strap on some goggles and choose between Heather Locklear, Cindy Crawford, or 3 hot lesbians. And I'll have hot monkey love with all my new girlfriends.
Hey, he sounds like he has even bigger testicles than me. You're listening to the friend of all lesbians, Howard Stern.
Tonight, meet Miss Nude Universe. Hear the tragic details of her life, then see her get totally naked. It's Sex Friday all night long on the Great E Show.
If you had one night with Miss Nude Universe, what would you do with her, Hank?
Knock her up.
And what's your favorite part of a woman?
The vagina.
All right. Oh, yeah, baby. Thank you. Good to hear from Hank the Angry Drunken Dwarf. Okay. Robin, what else is in the news?
An 8-year-old boy has been charged with sexually assaulting 2 6-year-old girls at a Harlem elementary school. This happened apparently last month. The boy, whose name has not been released because of his age, followed the 2 girls into the bathroom of Public School 207 on 41 West 117th Street on May 26th and sodomized them.
What does that mean? He gave them anal sex?
I don't know. That's what I was going to ask you. I mean, wow.
Wow. Because he couldn't give them oral sex. I mean, holding women down and giving them oral sex.
Well, how do you have 2 of them women? We're talking about 6-year-old girls.
Yeah, whatever. 2 of anything.
How do you get 2 of them to just hold still for this? One of the girls reported the attack to her mother, who contacted the police. After an investigation, detectives from the Manhattan Special Victims Squad arrested the boy at his home yesterday. Just imagine people come to your house and tell you your 8-year-old is a rapist.
Wow.
Sheesh. Actor Woody Harrelson is in the news. He was in a courtroom in Boston where a judge handed down a directed verdict against him for assaulting 2 photographers on Martha's Vineyard in 1995. Harrelson tells reporters here his side of the story.
The issue is not me being stalked. It is the fact that they're being intrusive in my daughter's privacy and my family's privacy. And I think that any celebrity and hopefully any parent would understand that.
Harrelson was with his daughter at the time these 2 photographers were trying to take his picture, and he's accused of attacking them.
Nice going, dickweed.
His fate has been put in the hands of jurors, and Harrelson hopes that the jurors will see his side. Number 11.
Well, I just hope that the jury doesn't award them any damages because everything's been fabricated by them. Nobody was hurt. I never laid a hand on any one of them.
So that's it. The jury will decide on damages, and Harrelson's hoping they won't sock him too hard in the pocketbook.
I would just get out of show business or give away your children. You make the decision.
There's a lot more to this than meets the eye.
Hey, Casey, bring me in some water, will you? It's like a man in a desert here. I can't get a glass of water. Having a difficult time.
India and Pakistan both have tested nuclear weapons now, but they may be moving to ease the confrontation. India's foreign ministry says Pakistan has agreed to resume peace talks a week from Monday. So maybe we won't have a nuclear war between India and Pakistan anytime soon. You have a new dog.
I have a dog, that's right.
And I'm sure you're getting very fond of the dog, and you wonder what the dog can do. You think your dog is very smart.
Yes, I do. I believe my dog is one of the most intelligent animals on the planet.
Well, at Easter time, a dog named Doggone Bailey bolted from the house. His family was visiting. You know, they had taken the dog along with them to some other family, some relative's home for Easter. And they searched and searched and searched. They even put flyers around the neighborhood, but they couldn't find him. So they went home, which was 43 miles away in Sandy Creek, and 8 weeks later,
wow,
the dog came whimpering and wet right up to the front door of their home.
So how many miles was that the dog found its way home?
43 miles.
I tell you, that's amazing. Even my dog, at a young age, I had to drive her over to the vet the other day, I told you. As I pulled up on my street corner, the dog began to notice where it was almost home and stood up and began to look out the window, familiarizing herself with the surroundings.
What?
I'll tell you another great story about my dog. My dog developed a nuclear weapon last week. That's right.
They say that Doggone Bailey has some Cocker Spaniel in her, which may carry some good sense of direction and a knack for dogged pursuit, but her owners are still scratching their heads about how the pup crossed Oneida Lake.
I don't even know how to get home from 43 miles from my house. How can a dog know that? Seriously, how can
how did the pup survive in the wild?
That I could believe. Because, you know, they're wolves. They have wolf instinct, dog.
What do you mean?
What do you mean, what do I mean?
If a dog has been sitting in somebody's home being given food every day.
No, that's God-given instinct. A dog is an animal that belongs in the wild as a wolf.
Rises to the occasion.
Right, they rise to the occasion. They have it in them. It's pre-programmed.
Pre-programmed?
Yeah. It's programmed from birth. It's an animal. They know how to hunt and get food. That's not what surprised me. But to find its way home, I'm telling you, I can't. I have to get directions from Manhattan. I drive every day.
So you're telling me you're not as smart as a dog?
I'm not. I'm not. I could not get home from 43 miles.
There's a lot of stories like
Yeah.
dogs find their way across states and stuff.
Well, this dog had to cross a lake.
A lake, Jackie the Joke Man.
Crazy.
Jackie the Joke. A guy on the show named Jackie the Joke Man.
And you wonder to what
happened.
lengths people will go for their pets when they've been injured.
Yeah.
Using acupuncture, physical therapy, and an ancient healing technique to pass a life force to another, a woman has helped a paralyzed kitten to crawl and even stand.
Why can't they do that to Christopher Reeve?
Topaz's spinal cord was shattered and her hind legs were paralyzed in a farm injury. Shortly after, physical therapist Jenny Miller stepped in. She specializes in helping people overcome these sort of injuries.
Right.
So maybe Christopher Reeve should contact her.
Or he should become a cat.
She specializes in helping people overcome all sorts of injuries, but she never worked on a pet. Now the kitten that couldn't even crawl is a cat that crawls with its front legs and has enough feeling in its rear legs to stand and take a few wobbly steps.
Too bad Jackie can't bring the lifeless body of Timmy the cat over to this one.
Jackie killed me. Jackie killed me. I was a retarded cat, so why did Martling leave the kitchen door ajar?
And then there's Gremlin the dog, who is suffering from a very bad case of arthritis.
Oh.
He's now being given acupuncture treatment.
I would never
and
let a
more-
Chinaman put a needle in me.
More and more New Jersey veterinarians
I don't
are turning
trust it.
to alternative methods of treatment, including acupuncture, herbal, and magnetic therapy.
You can get AIDS from that.
So there you have it. They're trying acupuncture on the dog. And have you ever wondered why some people
Yes.
can hold their liquor better than others?
Yes, I have. I believe it's conditioning. I believe the more you drink, the more tolerance you build up.
It's hereditary.
And you think it's hereditary?
I think it's both.
Really?
Well, they say it may be due to a chemical messenger in the body.
Laugh at me, Robin. It's my field.
The chemical is called cyclic AMP, and it's found in many animals, including humans and fruit flies. Researchers found that fruit flies
Fruit flies don't bother me.
That due to a genetic defect produce less of the chemical, get drunk faster. Can you imagine a drunk fruit fly? Than those that do produce more. This researcher called Ulrike Heberlin says research may eventually lead to the gene that contributes to alcoholism in humans. So there you have it. They may one day find out why Jackie is the way he is.
Oh. Hey, Robin, you know as well as I do that next week we're going to do a handicapped star search. And there's a couple of people trying to get in on this, and I just want to make sure we get a hold of them.
Okay.
Okay, this guy we lost already, the 40-year-old Down syndrome guy who wants to sing. He's gone, but there's a wheelchair. Oh, she's gone, too.
Oh, dear. We lost both of them.
I'm sorry.
Mariah Carey and Derek Jeter have called it quits, Howard.
You know, I might go out with Mariah Carey.
They say that the public scrutiny put too much pressure on the relationship and it couldn't develop.
No, I think he banged her a bunch of times and she either got sick of him or he got sick of her.
They say in the paper.
I say he got sick of her.
They say that the courtship is over because the public scrutiny was just too much. It was putting a strain on the relationship.
I don't believe that for a minute.
It wouldn't develop normally under those circumstances.
When you're into a chick, man, you don't. Public scrutiny helps it. It's fun.
We were just talking about my new love, Harrison Ford. And here he is to talk about Anne Heche in the new movie 6 Days, 7 Nights. He says, this is what he has to say about developing chemistry with Anne Heche. Number 30, please.
All right, this is what? Number 30.
Intelligence.
Oh, okay, hold on. You got a lot of numbers here. This is about what? Chemistry?
Chemistry between the two of them.
I don't quite know what chemistry means.
It means when you're doing a lesbian, how do you make it look like you're really into it? That's what it means.
I do know when actors work well together. I do know when actors contrive through the nature of their relationship to help make the story work. And there are people that are more or less skilled at these responsibilities. And Anne is highly skilled as an actress. Everything she's done has been fantastic.
Harrison Boner equals chemistry.
Number 16 is Harrison Ford explaining to us what Anne Heche brings to the movie.
I don't know how many times it has happened that I'm the only one left.
Did you play number 16? You're not listening.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, my God, please.
Have fun over here.
I don't really want this job anymore. I'm playing these tapes. Too much pressure. All right, what is the question again?
Number 16. What does Anne Heche bring to the movie?
Intelligence, soul, life experience. Each damn
tuna breath.
Damn nice to look at, too.
Even David Schwimmer got into the act. He's also in the movie. Here's what he has to say about Anne Heche's sexual orientation. He says it's not an issue.
Her personal life is no one's business but her own, and I think she's a great actress.
So there, stop making so much of it. Harrison Ford did a lot of the flying in 6 Days, 7 Nights. He plays a pilot and he actually flies. Number 31.
Solo. I don't know how many times it has happened that I'm the only one left to fly the plane.
You're really into this guy, huh?
I'm in love.
But that's happened.
Even with this voice, huh?
Yeah, now it really does something to me.
And there's a considerable difference between blue screen and the reality of being in the air.
Hey,
and I thought,
there's a guy on the phone says he can get me on the Puerto Rican Day Parade float. In the parade.
You'll never.
I could be in the parade. Wow. Hey, Junior, you can get me on a float?
What?
You can get me on a float?
Yeah, I can get you on a float with Julio Iglesias. You know you ain't Puerto Rican.
How funny would it be, like, you tune in to Puerto Rican Day Parade?
And see you.
And me and Julio Iglesias, like, arm in arm, waving.
Dirty Bastard, too.
Really?
Yeah, he's going to be on the Puerto... Yo, Howard, man, I think you're the greatest, I swear to God.
Thank you, Junior.
I've been listening to you for years.
Thank you.
Wait, it's my birthday. Can I just say hello to my mom?
All right.
What happened to the float idea? All of a sudden it's hello.
Yeah, he was just trying to get his mother on there.
I see. And Harrison Ford talks about the age difference between he and his co-star in 6 Days, 7 Nights.
Every time I see somebody commenting about the difference between an actor's age and an actress's age, I say to myself, hey, look around at life. This frequently happens. And so I don't have any problem with it. And neither do I have any problem with
her being a fag. I know.
My true age.
How old is he?
I don't know, but he looks darn good for his age.
60. Is he 60, really?
55, actually.
55.
I told the queer I was 55.
I told the queer.
Norm Macdonald has a new movie coming out this weekend, too. It's called Dirty Work.
Great.
When he was out on the interview circuit, they asked him why it was good to have Bob Saget as his director.
Because I could tell him what to do.
I rewrote everything.
It's good to work with a stand-up comedian, you know, because we kind of understand each other. And know also what I can't do, you know.
Norm is really wacky.
Norm's got to be on something.
Here's an audio scene from Dirty Work.
Dirty Work.
Dirty Work.
V8 engine, standard. Shock-resistant CD player, standard.
Hey, the trunk looks kind of small there, Anton.
It's live. I'm on live TV. Trunk's fine. As you can see, friend, it's not small. It's a big trunk. I'll show you right here.
Well, you got a dead hooker in the trunk.
What? No, it can't be.
Yes, it was. It was a dead hooker.
It wasn't a dead hooker.
Pal, I know a dead hooker when I see one.
It's party time.
I'll be busy this weekend with all the movies.
That's right. Cousin Bet is a Jessica Lange film.
Right. Cousin what?
Cousin Bet.
I'll have to run right out and see that. She always picks the most fun movies.
Her first film, of course, was King Kong, and here Jessica Lange tells us she didn't really mind doing King Kong.
It's the last good movie she was in.
You want to eat me? When I took that role, it was really as a lark. I mean, I was living on the, down on the lower.
Now she looks like King Kong. She's one of those good-looking chicks always want to be ugly. Like I'm not being taken seriously because my good looks. And now we're taking her real serious.
In Manhattan, working part-time in a restaurant in the West Village. So when I was offered to come out and audition and to do that, I thought, wow, this is great. This is a lot of fun. And that's kind of how I approached the character.
She also talks about the state of the film industry today.
I don't think there's an exciting filmmaking climate now. I think it's so polarized. You
probably didn't see Private Parts.
The Titanics, the Armageddons, all these kind of, for me, horrifying projects in the works. Or you have, a handful of interesting things
boring.
That you basically have to, pay to do.
Stuff that she wants to do is boring. She wants more boring movies made. That's what she's advocating here.
Jennifer Love Hewitt has a movie coming out called Can't Hardly Wait. It starts today. She was very excited about the soundtrack of her movie.
Yeah, we had a lot of cool groups.
There's not a movie out right now that has a better soundtrack. I Can't Hardly Wait. I am addicted to it. I listen to it 24/7. It's so good.
Cool.
There you go.
You're cool. I'd like to go out with her because she's a girl I could talk to.
24/7.
24/7. Anybody who says 24/7, I couldn't go out with.
What you talk about, Judith?
Imagine that
Peter
voice in
Weir is
bed.
the director of The Truman Show. Here he talks about, the premise of the movie is that Jim Carrey is watched 24 hours a day. His life is on camera 24 hours a day. Here Peter talks about a real woman who is living her life like Truman on purpose.
Well, the girl, Jenny, on the internet, has a camera in her bedroom.
I've seen that.
Takes a still photograph every 2 minutes. And she's going to have it there till the day she dies. And, whatever happens in that bedroom, with her boyfriend, with she changing into a nightdress or whatever, all photographed, maybe. And
I'm working on a movie about her life, Jenny.
There you go. There's a woman who's doing it for real. And Ali Sheedy, haven't heard that name in a long time. She has a movie that's coming out today in limited release. It's called High Art.
Limited release means what, Robin?
That it's not opening very many places, Howard.
I mean, they're that good.
Doesn't necessarily mean that.
Oh, yes, it does.
Anyway, Allie does a love scene. You remember Allie from Breakfast Club.
Oh, yeah.
And St. Elmo's Fire. Well,
Didn't she used to puke?
She did have a bulimia problem or something, I think. Here she talks about filming a very erotic love scene with her co-star and what she did to get through it.
On that day, I thought I
remember actually thinking, I do not have the luxury in this
I
situation.
wonder if her fingers smell like vomit.
This entire day about my own discomfort and my insecurity about what's going on here, because I have a 23-year-old actress here working with me who...
I don't know what she's talking about. What?
I actually saw this movie, Howard. The 23-year-old actress is so unbelievably cute.
Is it a good movie or not?
Is it a girl-on-girl living?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They get.
Oh, yeah.
Ali Sheedy's on. She's. Her and her friends hang around. They're all lesbians, and they all shoot and snort heroin.
Cool.
And then this girl. And then this cute girl that lives downstairs that doesn't know any better starts hanging out with them. Next thing you know, she's on heroin, and she's in bed, getting it from Ali.
Really? Is she nude?
Yeah.
How does Ali Sheedy look? Because she used to be good looking.
They just do a lot of butt shots and everything, but I got to tell you, I mean, I like Ali and stuff, but I'm sort of fixated on this new young blonde.
I'm going to go see that then. They don't know how to promote a movie.
Yeah, she's not even. I'm saying her. I don't know that it's with a girl.
And and that's the whole deal. Like, they don't want to play up the lesbian angle because it's politically incorrect. But if you want to see two chicks make out, this is the movie tonight.
And she also recounts a story about the impact the Breakfast Club had on a man she met at Sundance.
He came over to me and said, "Hi, I'm Saul, and I'm here with our, you don't know me, but we have our little movie here too, and it's called Slam, and I really want you to come and see it. And I just wanted you to know that that I know you're going to think I'm crazy. I mean, who is this? He's this black man from Harlem talking to me, but that character you played in The Breakfast Club, that was me." That was me, and I really thank you for
that. Oh, please.
What are you saying?
I don't know what she's talking about.
What are you saying?
People don't know how to give an interview.
Make a point.
The other thing
what
is,
a magnificent speaker she is.
I read an interview with her, and she said that she was, she was open to, she wasn't shutting the door on the lesbian relationship in her own life. But she did say that she had a relative who was gay.
Really?
Was it her mother?
Yeah, her mother.
Her mother's gay?
That's what she said in the interview. I showed you guys the interview.
Ali Sheedy's mother's gay? I don't believe that. I don't know how she got here then.
Well, obviously she wasn't gay all the time.
Well,
so that's what's happening.
Thank you, Robin, and Jackie the Jokeman Marlin.
Yes, my...
Congratulations on all of your success as an entertainer.
Poor Jackie, he's such a loudmouth drunk.
Jackie, way too many Heineken Martling. His two filthy joke CDs, Sergeant Pecker and the Joke Man, are still only $12 plus $4 U.S. shipping. Also on cassette, buy two, get one free. Call 1-800-323-KING. Do you have the name Jackie the Joke Man Martling trademarked?
Yes.
You do? That's a trademark.
It's like Kleenex.
No one can steal that.
No.
Friday night, I just wonder if you went through the
trouble.
The trouble.
Just wrote it down.
Friday night, July 3rd, the wildest night of the year. Rascals in West Orange, New Jersey. For information, 3D animated jokes. Visit jokeland.com.
Put a little C.
I wonder, what does it cost to copyright something like that?
Way too much.
Paul Rodriguez will be performing at Comic Relief at 8 o'clock this Sunday night on HBO at 8 p.m. Also watch him on Letterman tonight. David Lee Roth's new CD, the DLR Band on What Was That Records. Also, Ivan Reitman's film opens up.
6 Day 7.
Yep, that's 6 Day 7. I thank you, Ivan, for coming in, and thank you, David Lee Roth, Paul Rodriguez. Thank you for listening. And
You are listening to The Howard Stern Show.